Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to high school football action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. What you're seeing going down on the field right now is a Shepherd Hall of Fame induction ceremony going on, and they're not going to have quite the greatest sound. I'll blame Walt for not being as loud as us up here in the booth, but right now you see Dick and Ray Fig, who are being honored out there right now, who are 1951 and 1952 graduates and kind of really laid the ground, per se, for Shepherd football. And they're also played together, I believe, at CMU from what Walt Berry was saying. Also going to be inducted and honored here tonight is going to be Joe Muggenberg, Chris Glowacki, Mr. Jason Piles, Coach Bruce Vino, band director Claude Lemmer, along with the 1978 state championship softball team. So really cool stuff happening here at Shepherd right now with everybody being introduced and nominated. And what I'm actually going to try and do is pull up Walt Berry's Facebook here. Again, hoping to have the sound quality enough to make you, have you hear Walt, but that's just not going to work out. So you're going to hear me babble on about some of these great honorees here. So right now, Jim Muggenberg being honored. Or Joe Muggenberg, pardon me, being honored right now from the Shepherd Blue Jays. It's class of 1970. And I'm going to read old Walt Berry's little read up here. Again, you can see down there he's being honored. Again, if we had the audio quality, I'll make the joke the stick mic just wasn't working out so well. But the legend of Joe Muggenberg, Shepherd's Wilt Chamberlain, he says, on a cold 1969 night in a gym packed in Grayling, Michigan, Shepherd Blue Jays were down 17 points heading into the fourth quarter of the regional final. Bill White was also on this team, along with Muggenberg, cast of other seniors. As they clawed the way back, crowd roared with every basket, every steal. They were down 3 with just 26 seconds left. Muggenberg walked to the free throw line. Shepherd, after he sank both shots, suing possession, Shepherd kept their full court pressure, got the ball back, and it was actually Chuck Warmbroom in one of the guttiest plays ever seen in a Blue Jay, drew a charge at midcourt. Shepherd called timeout with just 18 seconds remaining. 8 seconds remaining, Bill White rose up and hit a shot that would complete the comeback. Grayling raced down the court immediately. Bob Waters tried to get the final basket, but Shepherd won 69-68. Pretty cool stuff right there. And again, everybody being honored right now. And actually, it's Joe Muggenberg who's coming out right now and being honored. That was Dick and Ray Fig, those two guys being honored. And so Mr. Muggenberg being honored right now. And again, we're also going to see Chris Glowacki being honored along with Jason Piles. And I'm going to try and turn up my mic as much as I can here to see if we can't get any sound from Walt Berry out there. Yeah, not quite. But right now we're saying Joe Muggenberg, his senior year, he averaged 23 points and 20 rebounds in his senior year. Pretty darn special. I know my main man, Adam Gursky, is nodding his head at that, who was quite the outstanding basketball player himself. Again, right now, Hall of Fame honors happening right now, and it's cool to see some of the faces coming out to make sure these folks are honored in the way they should. I kind of told you the story about Joe Muggenberg up at Grayling or whatever, helped lead to just a roaring comeback. Again, it's Dick Fig, Ray Fig, Joe Muggenberg, Chris Glowacki, Jason Piles, and then you're going to see Bruce Vino, Claude Lemmer, and the 1978 state championship softball team. Early edition of our Woods Household pregame shows. We want to make sure we got the video up, and I'll say my bad that we aren't doing perfect audio and everything for all these honorees, but Walt Berry is going to come join me, hopefully at halftime, maybe at some point in the second half, to talk even more about all the inductors or inductees of the 2025 Shepherd Hall of Fame. And I got to give a ton of credit to Mr. Walt Berry, who's kind of out there hosting everything right now. He does so much. I kind of read that story. I didn't go all the way through it talking about things. Now Mr. Jason Piles is out there being represented. Not many guys that can still fit into their varsity jacket. Something for Jason Piles to say. And when I think of football growing up in Shepherd, the first two names, the first two faces that come to my mind are Ben Brock and the guy down there on the field, Mr. Jason Piles. I'll throw Joe Shanowski in there as well. But he was the guy that when you saw him in the hallway or walking down the street, you just kind of went, whoa, oh my goodness. And what's crazy is he might have been an even better wrestler than he was a football player. State champion wrestler, and I know that the guy from Williamston that he beat for the state championship, he won 3 state titles. He won every other year except for the year that Mr. Jason Piles was able to take him out. And so just really, really cool stuff happening right now here at Shepherd. Again, Chris Glowacki, Joe Muggenberg, Ray Fig, Dick Fig, all being honored. Now Jason Piles is out there, and we still got the 1978 state championship softball team. Band director for, a long, long time, Mr. Claude Lemmer, along with Bruce Vino, who, when I think of, some of my dad's best friends back in the day, Bruce Vino is somebody who comes to mind. They used to run together like every single night and pretty much neighbors, and so pretty cool stuff to be able to see him honored and nominated here. And, keep saying honored and nominated. Everybody's beyond the nomination point. They are now inducted into the Shepherd Athletic Hall of Fame. Yet right now, still reading the accolades of Mr. Jason Piles out there, because there is an awful lot of them. And talk a little bit more about Mr. Jason Piles, class of 1995. From the mat to the mountain is kind of what Walt Berry had as the title of his write-up. He said some athletes leave behind records, others leave behind stories. Jason Piles left both. And in a way, only a small-town, big-hearted, larger-than-life Shepherd athlete could. Perhaps the Paul Bunyan version of Shepherd historical figures. I think that's the perfect way to think about Mr. Jason Piles. It's the Paul Bunyan of Shepherd football right there. Again, more love going out to Walt Berry, Shepherd Sports Boosters, for kind of making this happen starting a few years ago. Just really, really special. Now heading out there is Mr. Claude Lemmer. And, they said the Paul Bunyan figure for Mr. Jason Piles. When you think of Claude Lemmer, I don't even know where to start with Mr. Claude Lemmer. And again, I'll throw myself under the bus. I wish we had a little bit better audio here to kind of talk, to let Walt Berry tell these stories. But I've got his Facebook pulled up right now, and so I'm kind of talking through some of the stuff right now and all the crazy, awesome things that have been done by all these nominees out there. And Claude Lemmer kind of lived right across the street, actually, from where Mr. Vino lived as well, because I was kind of right across the way on Shepherd Road or Chippewa Street. It would technically be here in town. But Claude Lemmer, I want to say it was 40 or 50 years he was the band director here, and so many nights I was serenaded with the Shepherd Community Band playing out the back door, and I was fortunate enough to be able to hear it. So he was the band director from 1961 to 1998. Pretty darn cool stuff, and he's getting a little bit of a standing ovation. He deserves it. And kind of thing that Walt wrote, Claude Lemmer, spirit, pride, unity. I think that is a perfect way to describe Claude Lemmer. And he's out there getting the picture. And again, I know he's just still a big figure here in the Shepherd community. Mad respect everywhere Mr. Lemmer goes. And talk about small town where everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows Mr. Lemmer everywhere he goes. And now being honored is the state champion 1978 softball team. See, Shepherd's had a whole lot of fantastic teams, fantastic athletes, but that state championship is something that is so elusive, it is so hard to reach, and that's what all of these girls were able to accomplish out there for the Shepherd Blue Jays. I'll make the joke that, pulling Walt's stuff back up here to try and find his little write-up. And I encourage you, look up Walt Berry on Facebook. The Morning Sun also kind of printed all of his stuff that he wrote up because it's so darn good. So I'll tell you this little story that he's got written up right now. Actually, I should go through all the names of these young ladies out there who deserve being honored. The 1978 Shepherd softball team, the coaches were Bruce Vino and Glenn Hackney. On the team, Megan Kerrigan, formerly Megan Albright, Cindy McAvoy, formerly Cindy Aaron, Erlene Seeley, formerly Erlene Artecki, Mary Sue Zimmerlin, formerly Mary Sue Bach, Deb McAvoy, formerly Deb Bryant, Leah Banks, formerly Leah Curtis, or I might be doing this backwards, Denise Davis, Kathy Edwards, formerly Kathy House, that one tells me I was doing it backwards, Kelly Gilmore, Laura Kidder, Kathleen Klakulak, Teresa Meyer, Maggie Mitchell, Maureen Muggenberg, Melly Myers, Cheryl Slug, Della Seeley, Dina Simpson, Kim Stegman, Jody Stevens, and Sydney Young. So all those girls out there being honored right now. The 1978 state champion softball team of the Shepherd Blue Jays, which I think just leaves one guy left who would be their coach, Mr. Bruce Vino. Again, say it again, big shout to Walt Berry. Go check out his Facebook page. Go get the latest edition of the Morning Sun. You'll be able to see all of the full write-ups about the Shepherd Hall of Fame. And big congratulations to the 1978 state championship softball team. And the one thing that I think is really cool about that, and I got to show my buddy Adam Gursky because it's going to be a surprise. I knew Bruce Vino probably would have been a coach, but another coach, Glenn Hackney. You always think about him in football, but don't really picture him out there playing softball. But when you start coaching at a high school, you contribute in so many ways. You get involved in so many other ways. So really cool to see that not only left his mark on the football field, but as I said, I had no idea he's also a state champion softball coach as well. Talk about being in the Michigan Coaches Hall of Fame. That makes you very deserving being a two-sport champion there. I guess never a state championship for football, but some really darn good teams. Yeah, Mr. Berry continuing a little read-up right now, and I'll throw myself under the bus again. Wish I had done this a little bit better, had things a little bit more prepared, thought we were going to be ready to roll out everything here for the Hall of Fame. However, your boy goofed it up a little bit. But as I said, I'm talking you through some of it. I'm talking about some of the things that Walt Berry wrote on Facebook. And again, encouraging you to go there, and we got the great video here that anybody will be able to plug. Again, congratulations, the 1978 state championship softball team getting into the Shepherd 2025 Hall of Fame. Again, the rest of them getting in: band director Claude Lemmer, coach Bruce Vino, Jason Piles, Chris Glowacki, Joe Muggenberg, and the brothers Dick and Ray Fick. And then last but not least, Mr. Bruce Vino here. You can hear the nice ovation coming from the crowd here. And Bruce Vino, somebody, much more than a science teacher. And I think kind of the best way to describe it, if you're a Shepherd person, one of the guys you always think of looking up to is Mr. Jay Gross. But I think when it comes to Jay Gross, somebody that he looked up to, somebody that he respected as a teacher, was Mr. Bruce Vino. Yeah, I know my pops came here to pay his respect for Bruce Vino, as they were good buddies, and he had mad respect for everything he did. So again, Bruce Vino was the coach of that 1978 softball team, but he also did so much taking pictures for our local sports too. Now I got Mr. Randy Jones out there doing a great job, the Shepherd photography and stuff like that. But before him, it was Bruce Vino, always down there in the end zone, always in the gym with his camera snapping photos of our fantastic student athletes here at Shepherd High School. And so a big congratulations to him. I know he is super excited, I believe in Colorado now, so I'll make the joke, traveling an awful long way to get these accolades. But again, Dick Fig, Ray Fig, Joe Muggenberg, Chris Glowacki, Jason Piles, Bruce Vino, Claude Lemmer, and the 1978 state championship softball team. A big congratulations to all of them. I think, was it the third class of the Shepherd Hall of Fame here? Pretty darn cool stuff, and a big congratulations to all of them. And again, a big big shout out to Mr. Walt Berry and the Shepherd Sports Boosters for putting all that great stuff together. It is a Woods household, a pregame show. Again, starting a little bit early, doing things a little bit different, so we wanted to make sure, I'll say, at least got the video of this great Hall of Fame induction. Going to take a break. We'll be back with more Woods household pregame show right after this. Start talking about the Shepherd Blue Jays, Midland Bullock Creek, 3-1 versus 3-1. Both teams might be looking up at Ogama at the end of the year in Jack Pine Conference, but that number 2 spot is going to be a battle between Bullock Creek, Shepherd, Clare, and Gladwin. Back to talk about it more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary, he can be yours too.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Bogwai Banga and Bradley on Main Street in Mount Pleasant provides uncompromising integrity when providing tax and accounting services to individuals and small businesses in the Mid-Michigan area. Bogwai Banga and Bradley has an expert CPA ready to help you, whether you're an individual that needs help with taxes or a business that needs help with, well, just about everything. Bogwai Banga and Bradley is a leader in the community and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Visit them online at bwbpc.com or stop into their office on Main Street in downtown Mount Pleasant. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Martinez Lawn Care, just like our local football teams, can keep your yard looking good deep into fall, and we all know winter is coming. Call now to get on their snow plowing schedule. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Brickner and Bunker Farm Bureau Insurance Group is Mid-Michigan's #1 team for protecting what matters most to you. Home, auto, life, farm, business. They offer a wide variety of coverage at affordable rates with the customer service of a best friend. Visit Brickner and Buckner Farm Bureau Insurance Group on Pickard Road or visit them online at bricknerbunkerinsurance.com. Welcome back to the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and our Woods Household pregame show. 3-1 Shepherd, 3-1 Midland Bullock Creek, ready to battle it out. You see the Shepherd Blue Jay Band out on the field right now, getting ready for the Shepherd Blue Jay fight song and the national anthem. It is the Woods Household pregame show. Chris Spockman on the mic, Adam Gursky on the camera. A big shout out to our friends at Barbary Laws. We're coming to you from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. As for mentioned, you're listening to the Woods Household pregame show. We'll have the Gates Drilling and Service halftime report, our Bird All-American Grill postgame show, and throughout the game, we'll be talking about the Bills' custom fab fabrication of the game, the Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial, and score updates will be coming to you, brought to you by Clark Modular Homes, Bradwell Mal Drilling, and Malley Construction. We'll also be looking out for that J&J Auto collision report all night long. Somebody heating up like a Block Cove pool and spa. And I still think I'd take a pool right now over the spa, but as I imagine the night goes on, that will change. I'll also be talking about the Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game, replacement subs, replacement parts brought to you by Mount Pleasant Automotive. And somebody's got that long drive, I might mention a whole lot of real estate out there, brought to you by Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. And, of course, that turnover battle brought to you by our friends at High and Tight Footballs. About 7:40 on the clock here. You can see it counting down in the corner there. Got the scoreboard camera up tonight because it's not a bad view of it here at beautiful Shepherd High School and Veterans Memorial Field. Again, fantastic display moments ago from Walt Berry and the Shepherd Sports Boosters, inducting everybody into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to that class. Bruce Vino, Claude Lemmer, Jason Piles, Chris Glowicki. I'm going to butcher that again. Chris Glowicki, Joe Muggenberg, Ray Figg, and Dick Figg, along with the 1978 state championship softball team. Pretty darn cool stuff. Shepherd Blue Jays getting ready to run out right now. We'll see if we can wait for them to run out as well before we send it out to another commercial break. I will run through the offensive and defensive starters for the Blue Jays. Across that offensive line for the Jays, you've got senior left tackle Chris Gall, junior left guard Nick Terwilliger, center senior Noah Judge, junior right guard Jared Myers, senior right tackle number 55 Braddock Payne. Playing wide receiver, you've got the senior Bryce Smith, and then a pair of juniors in Brady Robinson and Noah Clevenger. And Shepherd will play four. Yes, they'll play four tight ends here this evening. Senior Sam King and senior Anderson Sickles, along with juniors Jacoby Polson and Charlie Robinson. Shout out to my buddy Jason Polson. And in the backfield, carrying the rock, it'll be Jace Deering playing fullback, and Ty Burns and Easton Van Alstyne at running back. Could also see the sophomore Alex Evans carrying the rock a little bit as well. Slide over to that Shepherd Blue Jay defense. Across the line, Chris Gall, Jace Deering at defensive end. Braddock Payne, Nick Terwilliger in the middle at defensive tackle. Linebackers, you're going to hear me rattle off four because Easton Van Alstyne's going to be in a lot, along with Bryce Smith, Sam King, and Wes Cluley. The defensive backfield is Ty Burns, it's Noah Clevenger, it's Brady Robinson, it's Shepherd, it's Midland Bullock Creek, ready to battle it out here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. And Shepherd has not been 3-1 since 2009. That was just 5-6 years after I graduated. Last year, Bullock Creek won this matchup 24-0. Both teams have played Standish Sterling Central this year. Shepherd bested them 37-0. Bullock Creek bested them 20-13 in OT last week. You look at that common score, that common opponent, it would lead you to believe that the Blue Jays should win this football game. This will be the 18th time Shepherd has played Midland Bullock Creek. And here come the Shepherd Blue Jays. Bullock Creek leads the all-time matchup, 10 wins to 7. They played every year as members of the Tri-Valley Conference and also in the 04 playoffs, which saw Bullock Creek win 26-8 as they went all the way to the state finals. Before that, you've got to go all the way back to 1982, 1983 when they played. Bullock Creek won both of those matchups, 12-8 and 7-0. And we'll have updates also coming tonight as Mount Pleasant hosts Bay City Central. Ithaca's Hemlock, as both of those teams look to go to 5-0, along with Beale City as they take on Houghton Lake on the road. Clare with one of their biggest tests of the year on the road at Ogama Heights. The same goes for Segrad Academy as they are on the road at East Jordan. That's the starting lineup for the Jays on both sides of the ball. That's what's going down on the rest of the Mid-Michigan area. That's the pass for this matchup. 10-7, Bullock Creek leads the all-time matchup. But if you look back, after, last year was 24-0, you take away the 82-83, they essentially played each other even when they were members of that Tri-Valley Conference. Going to take another break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about this Bullock Creek football team, a little bit more about the familiar opponent of Standish, and so much more. It's Shepherd Blue Jay football on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more Woods Household pregame show right after this. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will become a reality. As a trusted Mid-Michigan builder, WW Construction specializes in builds and remodels that turn ordinary spaces into extraordinary ones. Join the growing family of homeowners who trust WW Construction for quality and craftsmanship. Call WW Construction today at 989-621-2722 to make your dreams a reality.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 3-1 Shepherd, 3-1 Midland Bullock Creek. This is probably the biggest game Shepherd Blue Jay football has played. I'm not going to say since 2009. A few years ago, they had a big Week 9 matchup, I think, with Ithaca, that if they would have won that game, it would have moved them on to the playoffs, and obviously had a playoff game in the COVID year. But a chance to move to 4-1. First time they've been 3-1, as I said, since 2009. Midland Bullock Creek comes into this game at 3-1. Shepherd 3-1. Again, you look at those common opponents, Standish Sterling. 2 weeks ago, the Blue Jays blasted them 37-0 on the road. Last week, Midland Bullock Creek did eke out the victory, but it took overtime to best Standish 20-13. You just look at that matchup, it leads you to believe that Shepherd should be a favorite here tonight. But Shepherd lost last week big to Ogama Heights, a really solid football team that's either going to galvanize you or kind of bring you down a little bit. Bullock Creek will start the game with the football. Frank Irvin out there ready to kick things off. Back deep to receive is going to be Caden Edwards along with Mr. Braden Swanson. And we're going to learn some of these starters from Midland Bullock Creek together as this game goes on. And we're here for the Lancers, you know it, but definitely here for the Blue Jays. Here comes a kick from Frank Irvin down the near sideline, fielded just outside the 10-yard line by Swanson. He's going to be swallowed up right at the 24-yard line. Ty Burns in on the hit there for the Shepherd Blue Jays. And here comes Bullock Creek offensively. They'll start it at their own 25-yard line. And that's something that's played maybe a bigger factor this year than years past when it comes to high school football field position. It seems like when teams get that good kick return, kind of get out of the box a little bit, it really can open things up for them. First down and 10 for the Jays, throwing 25. It's Clevenger and Brady Robinson lined up at wide receiver to the near side and the far side. In the pistol formation is going to be Eisenberger. Hands it off, trying to find some room up the middle as the ball carrier. A little bit of space. Darren Marshall is going to be brought down after a short gain. Or pardon me, that was Deering on the tackle. Adley Keister with the carry there. I'm looking at the Blue Jay roster here. Keister with nowhere to go. Again, it looked like earlier for a moment that it was going to be Shepherd in the white. So that's my goof up. Alec Kikta in the pistol. Gonna hand this one off again, looking for some on the far side. Nowhere to go. In the backfield is the sophomore Alex Evans from his defensive back position to bring down the ball carrier for a loss. That's going to make it 3rd down and 11 here for Midland Bullock Creek. Not the situation you want to put yourself in early. Kikta is at the sideline getting the play from head coach Jerry Orr. 3rd and 12 here for the Lancers. See if the Blue Jays can get off the field early with a 3-and-out here. Sam King, Wes Cluley, Bryce Smith from their linebacker position, barking out some instruction. Bunch formation to the far side of the field. Single coverage here to the near side. Pressure right away. Burns is in the backfield. Cluley's in the backfield. Smith's in the backfield. Nowhere for Kickta to go with the football. Brought down by 3 Blue Jays. I think Burns would get the credit for the sack being there first, but it's 4th and a mile now, and Bullock Creek is going to have to punt this one away. And what a big moment for this Shepherd team. Again, you knew it was going to be tough last week going on the road against the conference favorite, Ogama Heights. Then you fall big, 49-14. How do you respond? You get an immediate 3-and-out against Midland Bullock Creek, another 3-1 football team. A little bit of pressure on the kick. It's a spiral kick. Burns is going to have a chance to return it. He fields it on the back. What a juke move to get away from a guy at the 50. Now he's trying to get to the outside. He's going to be brought down. Maybe a horse collar tackle out there from from Hansen. There will not be a flag, but what an electric return there from Ty Burns. You always want to make the first guy miss, but you don't expect to do it like that. Absolutely left him in his shoes. 9:45 left to go in the first quarter. I talked about field position. Bullock Creek started with it on their own 25. The Blue Jays are going to have it at the Bullock Creek 45-yard line. Bunch set here for the Jays with all those tight ends I mentioned. Polson is out there. Deering is out there. Sickles is out there. Robinson is out there. Now they switch to an I formation look. Hand it off to Easton Van Alstyne. Bowls over a tackle. Little J&J auto collision there from the running back. Big time yardage for Van Alstyne as he's going to pick up 6 or 7. It'll depend on the spot. Actually, they're only going to give him 4 or 5 there. Having to come off the field for a moment is Braden Suderman for Bullock Creek as his helmet came off. And it was one of those weird things. You look down in the middle of the play, the guy's got his helmet off. In the shotgun once again is Eisenberger, but we see them switch things up a lot formationally when they get to the line of scrimmage. They do go this time. They hand it off on the outside, looking for big-time running room, and he's got it as Alex Evans. He's across the 30, brought down at the 20-yard line. Big-time run from the sophomore. He's made a big play on defense. He's made a big play on offense. Really like what I see from Alex Evans here in the early going. The sophomore running hard, playing great on defense. Robinson coming off, the aforementioned Evans coming off, trotting back in with the plays, Mason Eisenberger. The Jays on the march, 2 plays, they picked up a first down. They've got it just outside the Bullock Creek red zone at the 21. It's Van Alstyne lined up to the left of Eisenberger in the gun. Eisenberger's got 3 wide receivers to the near side. Bryce Smith is split out wide. They want to throw. Eisenberger launches it towards the end zone. Caught! Bryce Smith dives! Waiting for the spot. Touchdown, Blue Jays! 3 plays, 45 yards. Bryce Smith with the TD from Mason Eisenberger. What a start for the Blue Jays. You get the 3-and-out. You get the touchdown in 3 plays. There's still 8:36 left to go in the first quarter, and the Jays are already on the board. What a start for Shepherd. Great route from Smith. Throw was right at the goal line from Eisenberger. He just kind of had to catch it and reach it out a little bit. 6 is up on the board for the Jays very, very early in this one. And credit to that offensive line as well. Payne, Myers, Judge, Terwilliger, and Gall. A lot of time for throw for Eisenberger. Very last-second substitution coming in for the extra point here for Shepherd. It would have done it with 10 there. Still might have worked out. The kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 Shepherd. What a start. A 3-and-out for Shepherd, and then the offense, 3 plays and a TD. Be back with more Blue Jay football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher Day or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Kick is going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. Looking for some room to the far side is Swanson. He's going to get by one guy. There's Evans again for the tackle. Alex Evans made 2 tackles on defense. He had a nice run. It's a little early to think about the Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by Weefrich Financial, but a great start for the sophomore Alex Evans. Kind of saw him in some cleanup duty against Standish Sterling where he looked really, really good. Now kind of seems to be right in the mix of things here. Out there defensively once again for the Jays. Just had that 3 and out. Chris Gall, Braddock Payne, Nick Terwilliger, Jace Deering across the defensive line. Linebackers Bryce Smith, Sam King, Wes Cluley. Also see Van Alstyne out there. Pistol formation for Bullock Creek. Handoff up the middle. Again, there is nowhere for the ball carrier to go. Jace Deering, the first guy to get a hold of the ball carrier. Also in on the play, getting up out of the pile is Bryce Smith. Defensive backfield for the Jays. Kind of went through the linebackers and defensive line moments ago. It's Ty Burns, Noah Clevenger, Brady Robinson, and Ty Hardapete. What a start here for the Shepherd Blue Jays. Shout out to all of our fantastic sponsors making it possible for me to bring you high school football here on this beautiful Friday night in Shepherd. Pistol look once again, 2nd down and 8 for Bullock Creek. They look to go to the air here. Throw over the middle is going to be complete. Ty Hardapete along with Evans is there for the tackle. It's going to be just short of 1st down yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and very short here for Bullock Creek. Actually, nope, they're going to wave them forward for the 1st down. I feel like more and more as I watch high school football, if it's close, it's kind of the tie goes to the runner type thing out there. Shots, one of our sponsors, Dick Silva Auto Sales. Right now, they've got a 2024 Ford Ranger burnt orange that has only 2,000 miles on it. It's only $42,995. So you can save about $20,000 by just having a couple thousand miles on that truck. Player behind the defense is caught at the 20. 10, 5, touchdown. There are no flags. Kicked with the throw, connecting with Braden Swanson for the long 57-yard touchdown throw. What an answer there from Midland Bullock Creek. So they get that benefit of the 1st down, and then you take a shot there. Swanson did a great job running that one down. It looked like it might have been overthrown, but Swanson turned on the extra gear to catch up with that one. And now out there for the extra point for Midland Bullock Creek is Tyler Franklin. Kick is up, and what a kick it is. Might actually almost go off the scoreboard of Shepherd. One of the more powerful kicks you've seen for an extra point. Well, just like that, we are tied at 7 apiece. What a response from Midland Bullock Creek, and this is what you expect from 2, 3, and 1 teams. Bullock Creek doing the old Lee Corso saying, not so fast, my friend. And so now we've had 2 scoring drives back-to-back. The Shepherd scoring drive lasted 51 seconds. This Bullock Creek scoring drive lasted 1 minute and 10 seconds. And so we'll see if the Blue Jays could come out here and maybe run a minute or 2 off the clock and get back into the end zone. Love to our sponsors, Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Banga and Bradley, Powell Fram and Collision. I just mentioned Dick Silva Auto Sales. That burnt orange Ford Ranger 2024 XLT, only 2,000 miles. And having that 2,000 miles on there is going to save you about $20,000. Because that Ranger at Dick Silva Auto Sales is only $42,995. I also loved Brickner, Bunker Insurance Group, Mount Pleasant, Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pier Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, along with G&S Mechanical and our friends at Dance Again, Dress Consignment Shop in Wademan. Still don't got your daughter, if you're a lady out there listening, still don't have your homecoming dress, Dance Again has got you hooked up. You don't need to drive to that big city. You just need to go to Wademan, talk to Kara Lynch and the crew at Dance Again, and they will get you set up. 7:26 left to go first quarter. We are tied at 7 apiece after the 57-yard touchdown toss from Kickta to Swanson. Kickoff is going to get by Ty Burns. Starts rolling towards out of bounds. He's going to have to pick it up inside the 5. A chance for Bullock Creek to back up Shepherd here. They will. Burns is going to be brought down at the 11-yard line. And so Shepherd's first drive started at the Bullock Creek 45. Then now backed up to their own 11, or we're going to call it the 12 here. And so big opportunity here for the Bullock Creek defense. You think about how this game started. If you're Midland Bullock Creek, you went 3 and out, then you gave up the quick touchdown. You answer back with a quick touchdown of your own, and we're essentially back even. 7-7, 7-18 still left in our first quarter. Shotgun look for Eisenberger. He's got a running back on each side. They send a man in motion. That's Anderson Sickles to the far side of the formation. Fake the handoff one way. Now they go to Deering after the fake handoff to Van Alstyne. It's going to be a short run there for the Blue Jays. Nice job by the Bullock Creek defense not falling for the fake handoff. Absolutely love misdirection anytime you can apply it in high school football. Bullock Creek was ready for it that time. Shout out to head coach Jerry Orr and the crew across the way. 2nd down and 9 here. Could almost call it 2nd and 10. Shotgun look once again for Eisenberger. Clock moving after the running play. They hand this one off, trying to get the edge as a sophomore Evans. He's got it across the 25-yard line. 1st down carry for the sophomore Alex Evans, who's having himself a little bit of a coming-out party possibly here tonight. Again, 2 weeks ago when they played Standish, we saw him in some cleanup duty. Last week, it was Ogama winning 49-14 over Shepherd. He's going to come out of the game now. Jace Deering will replace him for the Jays as Mason Eisenberger calls out the play in the huddle. Lined up here to the near side at tight end, it's Deering and Sam King. Now Deering's going to move back into the formation to the far side of the field. Bryce Smith now to the near side of the field at wide receiver. Got him bunched up on the far side to give it to Van Alstyne. He's got to turn it back inside. He'll get across the 30-yard line before he's brought down. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Solid carry for the Blue Jays there. He'll take that every time on 1st down. A huge crowd here for Shepherd. Again, the best start since 2009. Hall of Fame night. It is also youth football night. So just a packed house here. Just great to see. I formation look behind Eisenberger. Man in motion is Anderson Sickles to the near side behind the guard and tackle. Handed off to Van Alstyne. He's got big room up the middle. 1st down yardage across the 40 out to the 44-yard line before he's brought down. 1st down yardage for Easton Van Alstyne. And more love going out to our friends, the Isabella Community Sportsplex, Maury Courts, Martin Ice Arena, and the Maury Gymnastics Center, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beale City Village Store, Sydney's Judge's Bench, Dog Central, Barry Funeral Home, along with our friends at Boomer's Lawn Care. Sickles goes in motion, looks like the same play here. It will be. Handoff up the middle to Van Alstyne. He's going to pour ahead for another 6 or 7 yards. I tell you what, Shepherd making it look real easy on this drive, just like they did in drive 1 where they went 3 plays, 45 yards. This drive started at their own 12-yard line. They've ran 5 plays. They picked up 2 first downs, and they already have it here at midfield. Alex Evans with a big carry on the counter play to kind of start things off. Eisenberger remains the deep back, Deering in front of him. Eisenberger takes a snap, hands it to Van Alstyne. He's got 1st down yardage. We do have a flag on the play that could be bringing this one back. We could be doing this one over. It's 7-7 with 4:41 left to go in the 1st quarter. The Blue Jays actually running a little bit of clock here on this drive. And it will be a hold backing up to Shepherd. So back him up. Now going to be 2nd down and 10, we'll call it here. 6th play of the drive coming up as that last one did not count. Robinson coming in at wide receiver. Eisenberger trots back in with the play. Make sure both sides of the huddle got it. Charlie Robinson out there at tight end to the far side of the field. I formation look. Sam King lined up at tight end to the near side here. Man in motion is Brady Robinson to the far side of the field. Eisenberger takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's rolling out to his right. He wants to throw. Now he's going to pull it down and run for it. Gets by a couple guys. He's going to be hit hard on the sideline, but he absorbs it very, very well. It was a nice tackle across the field from Caden Edwards. Kind of lowering his shoulder a bit, though, too, was Eisenberger. That's going to make it 3rd down and 5 for the Jays. Sickles coming back in. Again, when you've got Sickles, Deering, Robinson, King out there, just gives you a really heavy set. These are guys that could play offensive line, but they're so athletic, they're lined up at other places too. Deering's going to be at the fullback. Lined up deep is Easton Van Alstyne here on 3rd down and 5. They hand it off to Van Alstyne. Pours that. He's got 1st down yardage for the Jays. The 7th, 8th play of the drive, I'll mark that is. As you know, your boy goofs it up a little bit here and there. But it will be 1st down and 10 for the Jays. Their 3rd first down on this drive that started all the way back at their own 12-yard line. They have marched into Bullock Creek territory on the ground. And the clock continues to move. 3:20 left to go in our first quarter. We are tied at 7 apiece with the Blue Jays and the Lancers of Midland Bullock Creek. Eisenberger does a great job making sure he kind of says the play twice, it looks like. Starts on one side of the huddle, then goes to the other to make sure everybody's on the same page. I formation look, Deering, Van Alstyne, the running backs. Sickles goes in motion. Hand it off to Van Alstyne. Carries tacklers with him for first down yardage. Big time run there. Big tackle out there from Suderman. Suderman almost didn't have a choice but to pick him up and put him on the ground because he wasn't going to stop Van Alstyne going forward. First down yardage for the Blue Jays. That is their 4th first down. We have play number 10 coming up on this drive as they absolutely march right down the field. Sickles coming out of the game. Trotting up to the line now is the Blue Jay offense. I formation look once again, but now there's a wide receiver out there, Noah Clevenger, to the far side of the field. He goes in motion to the near side. It's Deering and Van Alstyne in the backfield. Deering at fullback, Van Alstyne at running back. Maybe a change of the play there for Eisenberger. They go right to Deering right away. The Bullock Creek defense is ready for it. Nice defensive play out there from Midland Bullock Creek. In on the tackle was Lincoln Tetloff. Another athletic youngster who you could see wearing 63. Could also see him wearing 81 as well. Second down and 10. 1:30 left to go here in the first quarter. The Jays really running some clock here on this drive. Eisenberger in the gun. Man in motion is Evans. He gets the handoff. They make him turn it inside, but he makes a great cut. Falls forward to the 26-yard line before he's brought down. Score update brought to you by Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, and Clark Modular Homes. Clare 7, Ogama Heights 7 in the second quarter. And if you're a Jack Pine fan, you have got your Clare Pioneer hat on, because if Clare wins that game, that's going to really open things back up in the Jack Pine Conference. This is what, play 11 or 12? Again, I miscount them. You know your boy coming up here for the Blue Jays, but it's been a march. It started at their own 12. A whole lot of real estate covered by the Blue Jays, brought to you by Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, Palladium Realty, Robin Stressman Associates. Burns with his first carry of the day, explodes through the hole, and he's got first down yardage for the Jays. Their 5th first down on this march. Started at their own 12. They are now at the Bullock Creek 14-yard line. Again, in the first quarter with 4 minutes left to go in Ogama, it's Clare 7, it's Ogama Heights 7. Got a timeout on the field. We'll keep things right here. Again, if you're a Jack Pine fan, right now it's Ogama Heights. Then you've got Gladwin, you've got Clare, you've got Shepherd, you've got Midland Bullock Creek, I believe all 1-1 in conference play. And so if Clare wins that game, holy moly, it's going to be big these next 2 weeks with the Clare Pioneers, because next week we've got the Clare Pioneers as they take on Standish Sterling. The week after that, it's the Shepherd Blue Jays and the Clare Pioneers, and there is a chance that both teams come into that game at 5-1 if Clare is able to get a victory here tonight. 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Another score update brought to you by Brad Malley Well Drilling, Clark Modular Homes, and Malley Construction. Beale City leads Houghton Lake 7-0, and they are marching down the field according to my main man, Dave McKinney. Continue to update you on all the other games in the Mid-Michigan area throughout the night. But here it's 7-7. Jays got it first down and 10 at the Bullock Creek 14-yard line. This drive started at their own 12. They have marched it right down the field. There was 7:26 left to go in the first quarter when they took over, threatening to run off the entire rest of this first quarter clock. Deering goes in motion. It's Ty Burns, the deep back. He's got to dance right away, but he's going to pick up solid yardage. Chris Gall, Braddock Payne, Nick Terwilliger. along with Noah Judge and Jared Myers, just kind of road grading Midland Bullock Creek on this drive right down the field for the Blue Jay running backs, giving them a whole lot of space to run through. As I say that, Shepherd's not going to run another play here. They're going to let this one go to the end of the first quarter, and why not? You have all the momentum. You're in the middle of a 13-play drive that started at your own 12-yard line. You now have it at the Bullock Creek 7-yard line. Back with a second quarter and more Blue Jay football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on this Mid-Michigan Sports Network in our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. The Jays have it 2nd down and 6 from the Midland Bullock Creek 7, so they could still technically get a first down here without getting into the end zone. Eisenberger in the gun. Now they'll switch things up. He'll stay in the shotgun, but now Bryce Smith moves to the far side of the field at wide receiver. Ty Burns at running back. Burns will get the handoff, looking for some room here on the near side. He's going to get inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down. What a drive here from the Shepherd Blue Jays. This next play, and again, your boy's counting. You know it's a little off, but I've got this as play 15 coming up for the Blue Jays, and they actually give them first down yardage, so that is their 6th first down on this drive. Might not have the number of plays right, but I know I got the number of first downs right. What a drive from the Blue Jays, and you also start to think about the amount of time that they've taken off the clock. Both teams scored very quickly early in the first quarter. Now Shepherd has marched this one down the field. 7:26 left in the first quarter there was. Burns looking to get into the end zone. He fights forward. There's the signal. Touchdown, Ty Burns on the 15th play of the drive. It's now 13-7, Shepherd with the lead. What a march from the Blue Jays, going 88 yards in 15 plays, picking up 6 first downs on the march. And a lot of times you think about, big plays. That was boom, 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 right down the field against this Bullock Creek team. Shepherd showing a little bit of, I'll say, goofiness right now on the extra point. Make sure you line up right. If you don't go where you're supposed to go, they're going to try and take advantage of it. Bullock Creek, maybe a little bit of confusion out there, and now Shepherd will switch things up to their traditional kicking formation. I believe that's Braddock Payne out there, who's the long snapper as well. Just add to the list of things that he does for this Blue Jay football team. Kick is up. It is good. It's 14-7 Blue Jays. What a start between 3-1 Shepherd and 3-1 Midland Bullock Creek. We just had the end of the quarter break, so we will keep things right here and give some love to more of our great sponsors. Think about that Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. You had that 3-man sack on 3rd down to start the game for the Blue Jays. It was a pretty sweet play. But then right after that, you got the big touchdown catch from Bryce Smith, a la from Mr. Mason Eisenberger. Then you've got the 57-yard touchdown toss from Alex Kitka to Braden Swanson. And so when you think about that play of the game, I'm still going with the Bryce Smith touchdown or the 3-man sack. And if there is an amazing enough play, I'll make the joke that Bullock Creek is another pretty darn local school that is, say they're the last team left in some girls basketball, some baseball, or football. I would totally pick up the headset and start jumping on that bandwagon. And so they could get the play of the game on that 57-yard toss, but we're looking for something from the Blue Jays, and maybe the play of the game is going to be that drive, that moment. 15 plays, 6 first downs, 88 yards, running a ton of time off of the clock. Just kind of an estimation here, but about 8:44 or so, I'm going to guess that drive took. Here comes a little bit of a pop kick. It's going to be fielded just inside the 30-yard line. Returner looks to get to the outside. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. Nice defensive play out there for Mr. Jacoby Polson. So Bullock Creek's going to take over. 11:10 left to go in quarter number 1. They trail Shepherd 14-7. The first time they had it was at their own 25-yard line. They went 3 and out. Second time they had it at their own 33. Picked up a quick first down, and then on the third play of the drive, it was a 57-yard touchdown toss. Kicked to Swanson. Got to watch out for that combination on the outside. Swanson is lined up to the far side of the field. Pistol formation for the quarterback, Kickta. He's going to hand this one off all the way. Big-time running room. Cluley is able to sling him down. No, he stays on his feet. Clevenger and Burns end up bringing down the ball carrier, Keister. Big-time run there for Keister. And it was great field position once again about their own 40-yard line for Bullock Creek. They run one play, and it's a big run for a first down to get them inside the Blue Jay 40-yard line. So maybe that 3 and out that we saw at the beginning of the game was just a fluke from Midland Bullock Creek, as they have really come out here ready to play. On drives number 2 and drive number 3 here started off great. Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers to the far side for Kickta. Man in motion is Edwards. Hand it off right up the middle. Braddock Payne with a big hit out there. J&J Auto Collision Report. And I tell you what, when Payne gets a hold of you, he's going to bring the pain. I'll use that cheesy thing right there. That was a big-time smash out there from Payne, brought to you by our friends at J&J Auto in Wademan. Yeah, and after the hit coming out of the game is the running back, Keister, because he got absolutely blasted. 2nd down and 7 for Midland Bullock Creek. 10:03 remaining in quarter number 2. Kicked in the backfield in the pistol. He's got 3 wide. To the near side here at Swanson. They want to throw it that way. It's tipped, almost intercepted by Cluley. It's still caught by Swanson. What an unbelievable catch out there for Braden Swanson. But it'll still be 3rd down. Cluley almost came up with that, and if Cluley caught that, he might still be running right now to the end zone. It would have been him and the quarterback, Alice Kickta, battling to go to the house. 3rd down and short. 4-down territory here for Midland Bullock Creek. I expect them to keep it on the ground here. Update from Hemlock and Ithaca, tied at 0 at the end of the first quarter there. Kind of surprising there. Hemlock not been the greatest the last few years. Handoff trying to find some room here to the near side as the ball carrier. He's going to be hit hard, but it will be 1st down yardage for Braden Suderman. I tell you what, though, right now the Jays are making the running backs pay out there every time they carry the ball with some hard hitting. 1st down and 10 for Midland Bullock Creek. They've got it at the Blue Jay 27-yard line. This drive started around their own 40. They've now ran 4 plays, picked up a couple first downs. We've got 9 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. The Blue Jays lead at 14-7 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Our Barbary Law Studios built by Konwinski Construction. Pistol look once again for the quarterback, Kickta. He's rolling out to his right. The lefty squares. He throws downfield. It's going to be caught. What a catch on the far side of the field. They're going to say he brought it down inbounds. It was great defense from Clevenger. Clevenger absolutely leveled Caden Edwards, but somehow Edwards was able to hang on to bring down the 1st down. And now Bullock Creek, the Lancers, are in business just outside the Blue Jay 10-yard line. Nice job from Kickta. He was rolling out to his right. The lefty squared his shoulders before he made that throw. If he doesn't do that, I don't think he's going to have enough zip on that ball to get it out there to Edwards. Edwards is lined up in the slot to the near side. He goes in motion. Handed off up the middle. Looking for some room. Back into the game is the number 1 running back, Keister. Or Keister on the carry there, pardon me. Bring up 2nd down and 4. Gain of 6 on the play. This Bullock Creek offense looks totally different from the way they looked in drive number 1. 8 minutes and ticking here on the clock. 2nd quarter. 14-7. Blue Jays with the lead. Man in motion for Kikta. They hand it off to him on the jet sweep. Trying to find the end zone is Edwards. He's hit hard, but he's into the end zone for the touchdown on the 7th play of the drive. And boy, this game started with a 3-and-out and then a 3-play touchdown drive for Shepherd. It was 7-0, and this place was a poppin', was a sailing, and it's still popping and a sailing. But now everybody's kind of thinking, holy cow, we have got ourselves a ball game. 14-13, Midland Bullock Creek looking to tie it up with the extra point. What a start to this game. Say big plays now from Swanson with the big catch. Then it was a big-time catch from Edwards on the far side of the field. I'll say it again, Clevenger played great defense. It was just a great throw and a great catch. Here comes the extra point. There's some pressure put on it, but it's up and good. What a start. I think we're going to have some fireworks here in this one. We're tied at 14 apiece with Midland Bullock Creek and Shepherd with 7:41 left to go in the second quarter. Back more Blue Jay football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blocko Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blocko Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman along with Adam Gursky and Mr. Butchkowski up here catching up on a little bit of football from his sons, Logan and Hunter, two of the best that I have ever seen for Mount Pleasant High School. Both went on to have great careers, baseball and football at Central Michigan University. Here comes a little pop kick. It's going to be fielded by Cluley. Whoo, boy, that was a really, really nice call there from Jerry Orr. Shepherd almost let that one slip away, but Cluley was able to get it, step out of bounds, and it'll be Blue Jay football. They'll have it at their own 31-yard line. So Shepherd's had it twice. One time it was 3 plays, touchdown in 51 seconds. The other time it was 15 plays, touchdown in 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's see what happens here on the third drive of the game for the Shepherd Blue Jays. Bullock Creek on their 3 drives have scored 2 out of 3 touchdowns. So if you're Shepherd, kind of got in your mindset, you got to keep on scoring. It's definitely single coverage here to the near side. On a complete island is Palmer Richards for Midland Bullock Creek. They want to throw. They're looking downfield. Clevenger's wide open, streaking. He catches it at the 35, 20, 15, 10. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Noah Clevenger, 69 yards from Mason Eisenberger. Woo, boy. You start to think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, and that is the second sweet touchdown toss from Eisenberger. This one for 69 yards, and Shepherd scores in one play. Woo! 20-14, our score. Still 7:29 left to go here in the second quarter. So Shepherd has had a 51-second touchdown drive. They have had an 8-minute, 44-second touchdown drive. This one only lasting 12 seconds as Clevenger turns on the afterburners to the house for the touchdown. 21-14, Shepherd in front. Woo! What a battle this has been. And you look at the scores going back, I don't think you would have expected this. Maybe a 7-7 matchup here in the second quarter, but both offenses have awoken. It is 21-14 Shepherd. Ty Burns has a touchdown run, and Mason Eisenberger has tossed 2 touchdowns, one to senior Bryce Smith, one to fellow junior Noah Clevenger. It's 21-14, 7:29 left to go in our second quarter. We will keep our broadcast right here. After the first quarter, Beale City up on Houghton Lake 14-0. So last I heard from Jeremy Woodcock and Ithaca, they were scoreless with Hemlock. We're going to check in again here with Claire and Ogama Heights on the NFHS Network. And if you don't have the NFHS Network, obviously I want you to listen to me, but it is the best way to keep up with everything that's going on in the Mid-Michigan area. Has pretty much every single game on there. Out there for the kick is Mr. Frank Irvin. 21-14, Jays in front, looking for a big stop here defensively. And right in front of us is Shepherd football royalty, Glenn Gene Hackney, along with Jason Piles, who was honored before the game, getting into the Shepherd Hall of Fame. Big-time room on the far side of the field for Braden Swanson. He's going to be brought down, 7:19 left to go in the second quarter, just inside the 40-yard line. So another good starting field position here for Bullock Creek. 7:19 left to go here in quarter number 2. The Jays lead it 21-14. It'll be right at the 40-yard line for Bullock Creek here. Score update, second quarter. It's now 21-7. Ogama Heights with the lead over Clare. And so everybody pull out your green Pioneer caps and want them to come back in that one. Keep Ogama Heights from staying undefeated in the Jack Pine Conference. Fake the jet sweep. Hand it off here on the far side of the field. Looking for some running room out there is Keister. We'll see what he brought up there. It's Chris Gall in on the tackle for the Blue Jays from his defensive end position. They're going to give him 4 yards on the play. Going under 7 minutes remaining here in quarter number 2. If you're Shepherd, you get a stop here, you're going to feel really, really good because your offense has looked unstoppable against Midland Bullock Creek. But Midland Bullock Creek, after that first drive, they've been able to move it. One time it was a big touchdown to Swanson. Another time it was Edwards taking it in after a 7-play drive that started at their own 40. Man in motion is Edwards. They want to throw. They're going long. Hardepe's out there with good coverage. It's still caught. You have got to be kidding me. They're going to say he was out of bounds. Incomplete. What defense from Ty Hardepe on the far sideline. It was an unbelievable catch, I believe, from Cody Parsons over there wearing number 3 in white. Hardepe was all over him, got his hands up, didn't run into the wide receiver as he didn't turn around to quote-unquote play the ball, but they're going to call that incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 7, and that's a big call right there in the process of this game. It was an unbelievable catch on the sideline, and again, if you're Parsons, you did your job. It was just good defense by Hardepe continuing to shade you until you're eventually out of bounds when you come up with the catch. Man in motion is Edwards. They fake it to him. Now looking to go up the middle. Not enough running room. That's going to bring up 4th down near midfield. On the carry was Keister. This is going to be a big call right here from Jerry Orr. We are halfway through quarter number 2. It's 4th down at midfield for Midland Bullock Creek. Shepherd leads at 21-14. Now, I think if I'm head coach Jerry Orr right now, I'm saying if we can't get a stop, we don't deserve to win this game, and so we need to punt this one away. We need to get a stop. Again, I think this is the right call because if you can't stop Shepherd, it's not going to happen anyway. 5:50 left to go, second quarter. Dropping back deep to punt this one away is Tyler Franklin. Back deep to return it is Ty Burns and I believe Clevenger. There's a flag on the kick. It's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line by Clevenger. He's slung down right away. We'll see on this flag here. This could be a big call. Because if it's a 5-yard call against Shepherd, it could essentially give a first down. No, but it'll be a false start, so I imagine we will see Shepherd decline this penalty, and so the Blue Jays will take over. That's their second 3-and-out of the first half. Shepherd has had 3 possessions. They have scored all 3 times. We've got 5:34 left to go here in quarter number 2. Shepherd's last drive only lasted 12 seconds on the touchdown toss from Eisenberger to Clevenger. Their second drive of the game lasted 8 minutes and 44 seconds. The first drive, 51 seconds. So they've shown here in the first half they can score very quickly, or they can slug it out down the field if they need to. This drive, you'd love to slug it out if you're Shepherd, not leave Bullock Creek much time left going into the half up 28-14. But then again, if you can score on a big play, why not? Jumping over the defense is Van Alstyne. He's going to pick up 7 or 8. Probably shouldn't have had anything. He's a baseball player, not a high jumper, but man, he got up on that one to pick up some extra yards. I don't want to say a la Saquon Barkley, but you saw that last year. That's kind of what that reminded me of a bit there, except he didn't kind of do a 360 or anything. But a big-time run there. It's going to bring up 2nd down and a yard for the Blue Jays. The clock starts to move again here in the second quarter. We're under 5 minutes remaining. Shepherd leads it here at home, 21-14 over Bullock Creek. Both teams coming into this game at 3-1 on the season. Bryce Smith shifts to the near side. Lined up at wide receiver. Handoff goes to Van Alstyne, trying to pour it off on the far side. He's turned back inside, but he's got first down yardage right up the middle of the field. So the chains will move for the Jays. 4:41 left to go in quarter number 2. They've got it on the 41-yard line. Again, Shepherd leads at 21-14. More love going on to our friends. Coming to you live from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Conwincy Construction. Our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report, 4.5 minutes away. Also, Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. It's now got to be the 69-yard touchdown toss, Eisenberger to Clevenger. That'll also go down as our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game, unless something amazing happens here. Man in motion is Anderson Sickles. I formation look behind Eisenberger as he goes under center. They fake it. He's rolling to his right. He slings it over the middle. It's going to be caught by Charlie Robinson. He's going to be slung down after first down yardage. Big catch there from Mr. Robinson on another nice throw from Eisenberger. He looks really good out there tonight. First down yardage for the Blue Jays as they head into Bullock Creek Lancer territory. Shepherd still has all 3 timeouts remaining, so you can kind of start to salt away this first half clock. Want to make sure Bullock Creek doesn't get the ball back with any time to score. 2 tight ends here to the near side. It's Sickles and Robinson. They're also going to move King and Deering to that side. Now Robinson goes to the far side. Look for a run here to the near side with the Blue Jays out of the gun. They do hand it off. Looking for some running room is Ty Burns. He's not going to pick up much. A nice job by that defensive front of Midland Bullock Creek. Keister was out there. Tetloff was also out there on the play. 5th play of the drive or so coming up for the Blue Jays. Started with it at their own 26-yard line. And a big play to pick up a first down. Now have it inside Bullock Creek territory. 2nd down and 9 coming up. The clock continues to tick, tick, tick. 3:05 remaining here in quarter number 2. I formation look for the Blue Jays. Deering at fullback. Going in motion is Sickles, the tight end. Lines up here to the near side. Handoff all the way for Ty Burns. Jumps over a tackle. He's going to be brought down in between the 40 and the 35-yard line. Give him 6 on that play, possibly. That was play 5 or so of the drive. Clock continues to move here, though. If your Shepherd's starting to become a little bit of a factor with 2:37 left to go. 3rd down and short for the Blue Jays here. Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming right up. We'll get some more score updates coming from the mid-Michigan area. Beale City up 14-0. Ithaca tied at 0 at the end of the first quarter with Hemlock. And Ogama Heights up on Clare 21-7 heading towards halftime there. That will be first down yardage as the Jays pour it up the middle. Play 7 of the drive. And again, here your boy always is miscounting, but we do the best we can to keep you updated. And again, once you get over double digits, I feel like that's kind of the main thing. I said Shepherd had that 15-play drive earlier. That's when you really want to start counting those plays because it has just taken so much toll on that defense being out there for so long. 2 minutes left to go first half. Shotgun look for Eisenberger. He's got 2 wide receivers lined up to the far side. They're going to give it to Evans. Tries to get that outside. They turn him back in. Keister's going to hit him, but Evans does a great job staying on his feet with great balance to get down to the 26-yard line. Tetloff on the hit. It's going to bring up 2nd down and short. The clock continues to run here. 1:37 left to go in the second quarter. Shepherd still holding all 3 of their timeouts currently. Eisenberger back in with the play. Again, not a lot of hustle out here. 2nd down and 1. This would be a good shot for Shepherd to take a shot here. I'm going to call this play 9 of the drive coming up. I formation look. Clevenger lined up to the far side of the field. He's going to go in motion here to the near side. Looks like single coverage out there. It will be a throw for Eisenberger. Looking for a receiver. He goes for Robinson. Oh, a little too tall. He got his hands on it. If you're Eisenberger and Robinson's going to come back to the huddle saying he should have caught it, Eisenberger's going to say, I should have given you a little bit more room to get underneath it. Just missed time there a little bit. That would have been big time, but that's why you go for the shot on second down. Now you've got 3rd down and 1, and you still have all 3 of your timeouts for Coach Angel, Coach Robinson, and the Blue Jays. Give much love to our great sponsors, Woods Household Appliance, Weefrich Financial, Clark Modular Homes, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, Bird Bar and Grill, Barberry Law, and Gates of Drilling and Service. They hand this one off. Van Alstyne's got to dance. He's very close to 1st down yardage. I think he will pick it up. That was play 10 of the drive I've at least got on my score sheet. They're not marking the 1st down off yet. The clock is stopped for a moment with 56 seconds left to go. They will give him 1st down yardage. Again, still all 3 timeouts on the clock for the Blue Jays, or on the board for the Blue Jays. Eisenberger back in with the play. They start to wind the clock as the chains are set for this 1st down and 10 play from the 21. Or the 24, pardon me. 11th play of the drive coming up for the Blue Jays. 3 wide receivers here to the near side. We've got a flag immediately. This one's going to be blown dead with 43 seconds left to go. It'll be a false start backing up the Jays 5 yards. 21-14 is our score. 43 seconds left to go until halftime. The Blue Jays get the ball to start the second half, and so a touchdown here would be ginormous. We got Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming right up. Kind of go through the drive report here with both of these schools. Now we do have a timeout coming from Shepherd. We'll keep it right here. Thanks to more of our great sponsors. Talked about the J&J Auto Collision Report and Blocko Pools and Spas. That offense for the Blue Jays is definitely hot like a Blocko Spa out there. As they've had 3 possessions, they've had 3 touchdowns, and here on possession number 4, they've rolled right down the field with 43 seconds left to go in the first half. Also love Weber Brothers Sawmill. Think about the Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game. Braddock Payne's had a couple big hits out there. Chris Gall has played well for the Shepherd Blue Jays too. But if they continue to run the ball like they have, they'll go to that whole entire offensive line. Our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assisted the game. It's going to be really hard to overtake a 69-yard touchdown toss. Eisenberger to Clevenger, and Clevenger was just able to kind of continue to run full sprint. Call that a paper bag throw there from Eisenberger. You didn't even have to reach out your hands if you're Clevenger. If you just had a paper bag on the front of your chest, that one would have dropped right in. 43 seconds left to go. 1st down and 15 for the Jays at the 29-yard line after the penalty. In the gun is Eisenberger. It's Van Alstyne lined up to his right. He's got 3 wide receivers to the near side. In the slot is Robinson. Eisenberger's flushed out of the pocket. He keeps his eyes downfield, slings it towards Clevenger. It's going to be tipped, almost caught by Clevenger on the tip. Eisenberger kind of sent that one up for grabs, but not a bad, well, I guess it was 1st down, but I want to say not a bad situation to do so. He got it to where he needed to. Clevenger kind of a one-on-one play out there. Good defense being played. Tell you what, when I'm calling names for Bullock Creek, Braden Swanson seems to be the main name that I call. It's rocking number 2 for Midland Bullock Creek. It's going to bring up 2nd down now, and actually we've got a penalty on the field. It's going to back up the Blue Jays even more, so it might remain 1st down, but that's going to be a holding penalty. Yep. And if you're Bullock Creek, you want to take it because Frank Irvin kicked, a 30-some yarder earlier this year. You don't want to give him an opportunity to kick another field goal. Shepherd still has 2 timeouts remaining as we go under 30 seconds here on this 2nd down and long play. Looking to run a reverse. They want to throw. It's Robinson looking for Smith downfield. He goes up. It's tipped away. It's Swanson coming in with the play once again. Braden Swanson for Midland Bullock Creek. Again, if I'm talking Zaid Batchel, their baller of the game style, he has made some big-time plays for the Lancers. If you're Shepherd, you had it 1st down and 10 with about 1:30 all the way down at the 24-yard line. You now have it 3rd down and a mile outside your own 40-yard line. So the Jays got to go, 24 yards or so here to pick this one up. And again, by math, it's never good. Robinson, Brady Robinson coming out of the game. Charlie Robinson coming into the game here on this play. Big offensive line, heads up to the ball. Eisenberger's going to go under center. Two wide receivers here to the near side. It's going to be a throw for Eisenberger. Slings it here to the near side. It's caught by Clevenger. Turns it upfield. It's going to go out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And so if you're Shepherd, a big pitch and catch there from Eisenberger to Clevenger. Second time we've called that combo for a big play here tonight. That's going to set you up with 3rd down and 10. Nice job blocking in the backfield by Easton Van Alstyne from his running back position. After he was given, well, not given the fake handoff, kind of had to make sure he put a helmet on a head out there to make sure Eisenberger had some time to throw it. 15 seconds left to go. It's 3rd and 11 for the Jays. They still have 2 timeouts here, so you can go over the middle for 1st down yardage. It's Clevenger lined up in the slot. Smith lined up wide to the far side of the field for Eisenberger. It's Van Alstyne in the backfield. They want to roll it out to throw that way. It's going to be complete. Robinson's got to get away from one guy. He spins away from him, gets out of bounds. 7 seconds left to go in the first half. That was play 14 of the drive from Shepherd. Again, give or take a play or 2. It's going to bring up 4th down. And Irvin's going to come out here for the field goal. This would be one of the longer high school field goals I have seen. Go back to Ubley, Beale City State Semis 2 years ago. I saw a 47-yarder get kicked by a kid who was going to kick in college. This one right here would be a 39-yard field goal from Big Frank Irvin. Here comes the kick. He didn't get a hold of it, and Swanson's going to have a chance to return as he takes it at the end zone. Here to the near side looking for space. Clevenger is going to bring him down. Also out there on the tackle was Joel Hand. It's going to leave 0.8 seconds left to go. And so Shepherd's going to wind up with a missed 39-yard field goal. But again, that one was pretty deep as far as field goals go. And they won't make them run a play there with 0.8 seconds left to go. That'll do it. We head to the half. 21-14, Shepherd in front of Midland Bullock Creek. This is the type of game where if you're a Shepherd fan, you feel like you are in control, but you're kind of letting Bullock Creek hang around in the weeds here. If something big can happen for Bullock Creek in the second half, they could definitely win this football game. Now got youth football going to be happening out here along with the band. It's time for our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Malley Construction in Mount Pleasant are experts in residential and commercial construction. From poured walls, flat work, pipe work, and road work, Malley Construction does it all. And they are Michigan Department of Transportation pre-qualified. Malley Construction is family-owned and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant. Welcome on into our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Coming to you live from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. 14-0, Ithaca now up on Hemlock in the second quarter. Last we heard, 14-0, Beal up on Houghton Lake. 21-7 last we heard with Ogama Heights and Clare. Still waiting to get an update on that Sacred Heart Academy and a Mount Pleasant Oilers score. We will check on that as we send it off to This Week in MHSA Sports with John Ross. When we come back, we'll tell you what the Shepherd Blue Jays got to do to win the second half. We'll go through that dry report a little bit as well. It's 21-14, Shepherd Blue Jays with the lead. And one thing I've got to point out right now, making Adam Gursky kind of zoom in here, one of the things I always think that is really cool to see, that is Mr. Jacoby Polzen out there on what looks like the saxophone as well in the football jersey, and he's also my former neighbor as well, so special tip of the cap there to Jacoby Polzen, putting in the extra work at halftime for the Shepherd Blue Jays. Definitely something to think about when we think about our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game. Jacoby Polzen getting a little bit of a tip of the cap there, because that's putting in extra duty of he's now out there performing with his other team here at halftime. Pretty cool stuff. Time for This Week in MHSA Sports with John Ross. And said when we come back, we'll kind of run through that drive chart once more. Talk about what the Blue Jays got to do to hang on to win this game in the second half. It's Shepherd 21, Midland Bullock Creek 14. And our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill by standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Blockco Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blockco Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Pure sportsmanship is the most important thing in high school sports. When it comes to your home or business, Pure Plumbing just might be the most important thing. If your plumbing isn't pure, don't worry, no one needs to see the other angle. For Pure Plumbing, call 989-644-8928 or visit mipureplumbing.com. Block Electric Company in Wademan has been powering Michigan for over 30 years. There's no job too big or too small for Block Electric Company, like an entire school or something simple at the home, like making sure the outdoor lighting thermostat, or ceiling fan is installed professionally. Bullock Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Bullock Electric Company, and go Aggies.
A winning weekend for the Carr family and a statement on sportsmanship from the Student Advisory Council. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship.
Lots of time. Carr's looking around. Now he scrambles to the right. He's pointing directions. He sees Jerry down the field for a 48-yard touchdown catch. Touchdown Hornets.
That was Justin Hobbs on the call for the Saline Live video crew. Playing conference rival Dexter, Carr threw for 508 yards and 8 touchdowns in a 61-34 win. The 8 passing touchdowns is the second most in MHSAA history for a single game, and the passing yardage is tied for 13th most in a game. Carr added a rushing touchdown, making him accountable for 9 total TDs in a game, which has only been topped 3 times in MHSAA history. Tight end Lincoln Keys caught 3 of the touchdowns, and Carson Cherry and Austin Abbott hauled in 2 each. 6 of Carr's passing TDs came in the second half, a half that saw Saline come back from being 8 down at halftime. The win moves Saline into the number 1 spot on the Division I playoff points list. Dexter is 6th in Division II. And the day after the win, Carr's brother CJ led Notre Dame to its first victory of the season. For a look at the record book or the playoff points lists, be sure to check out MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. First, Okemos Soccer's Carter Haremski. He scored twice in a 3-2 win over Grand Ledge. Okemos is undefeated this year and has captured an outright CAAC Blue title for the first time since 2019. Gibraltar Carlson tennis player Kyle Salisbury. He had a straight sets win at number 1 singles, helping the Marauders to a 6-2 team win over Trenton, giving Trenton their first league loss this season. And to the Marysville volleyball team, who knocked off Fraser in 4 sets and a battle of MAC White Division unbeatens.
Graduating seniors could qualify for a tuition-free skills certificate or associate degree through the new Community College Guarantee, no matter their GPA or your household income. Or if your child plans to attend a 4-year university or career school, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship Program has them covered. They could get up to $27,500 toward a bachelor's degree or up to $4,000 for career training. Complete the FAFSA to get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
We're on the volleyball court today, and it's a tight rally in the 3rd set. Team A's outside hitter digs up a powerful spike, and then her setter contacts the ball a couple of times while trying to set it, and then sends it back to the outside hitter, who's right there to play it. As the referee, you might think multiple contacts occurred, but thanks to the updated Rule 9-4-8C, because the ball was next directed to a teammate, that second contact is legal and play should continue on without a whistle. This rule explicitly removes that judgment call when no advantage is gained, reducing interruptions and coach-official disputes. So in this scenario, you let it ride, no call, no stoppage, just free flow and fairness.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. For the 2nd year in a row, the MHSAA's Student Advisory Council has recorded a message on sportsmanship.
High school sports are meant to be fun.
We love to represent our school.
And we care about our sports.
We know you do too.
And because we all care, it can sometimes get intense.
So let's make the experience more fun for everyone.
We know it's easy to react and shout during games.
But we all make mistakes.
The game is more enjoyable when we hear positive cheering.
Referees are human. Respect their decisions. They aren't perfect.
When you feel like yelling, remember that you represent our school.
We want to win, but just remember to keep the energy positive towards all.
During the season, we spend a lot of time with our coaches. They have a tough job.
Please accept their decisions.
And be thankful for all the time they devoted to making us better.
Thank you for coming to our games and always supporting us.
We couldn't do this without you.
For more on the Student Advisory Council or to see or read their message on sportsmanship, please go to MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll be back next week.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. We have all seen this sticker, maybe in Mount Pleasant, Beale City, Ithaca, or Traverse City. There is a reason you see that sticker everywhere. That's because Dick Sova Auto Sales has been selling sharp used cars and trucks for 3 generations. Stop in to see the Sova family in downtown Shepherd for your next low-mileage, immaculate car and see why they're known for over 40 years of fantastic customer service. Or you can view their inventory now at DickSovaAutoSales.com. Dick Sova Auto Sales, selling sharp used cars and trucks and supporting sharp student athletes. Powell Frame and Collision knows we all spend a lot of time looking out the windshield. So if yours gets cracked, dented, damaged, or destroyed, Powell Frame and Collision, along with their expert collision service, now offers expert auto glass replacement. Working with insurance, they can replace all makes and all models, including new advanced driver assistance system windshields. Mention you saw this ad and you get $100 off of your windshield replacement. Powell Frame and Collision, downtown Shepherd. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. At our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report, both teams out there stretching things out right now, getting ready to go. And if Walt Berry has time after a wedding rehearsal, he's going to come join us a bit here in the second half, talk a little bit about this great Hall of Fame class. And I'll say it again, football royalty sitting in front of us. Mr. Hackney out there along with Mr. Big Jason Piles. But score updates brought to you by our friends at Clark Modular Homes, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. At the half, East Jordan leads Sacred Heart Academy 14-12. Sacred Heart Academy kids getting out at 2 o'clock today for that long bus ride, hanging in there with a really good East Jordan team. They're 2-2 back in their first year of 11-man football. And I'll say it again, I am looking for it. I've got the fingers crossed that we have got a Beale City Sacred Heart Academy football playoff matchup. Boy, would that be fun. Things sliding downhill a bit for the Clare Pioneers. Towards halftime, they trail Ogama Heights 28-7. And when I pulled up my NFHS stream, it had Mount Pleasant beating Bay City Central 69-66. And I said, there's no way that's right. Update from Showalter Butchkowski and the crew up here. Mount Pleasant 40, Bay City Central 0. Again, we'll continue to double check on that score, but I expected Mount Pleasant to win big in that one. Ithaca Hemlock Ithaca up 14-0. And Beale City rolling against Houghton Lake late in the second quarter there. It is 34-0 Aggies. Quick reset here. Drive recap here in the game. The first drive of the game did not go well for Bullock Creek. It was third down and long. It was essentially a three-man sack in the backfield to bring down the quarterback Kikta with nowhere to go. They punted it away. The Jays got a first down on a nice run from sophomore Alex Evans. And then on the third play of their first drive, it was Bryce Smith, the long touchdown catch to make it 7-0. But then Bullock Creek came right back on the third play of their second drive, a 57-yard touchdown toss of their own. So we had a 51-second drive for a TD. Then Bullock Creek answered with a drive just over a minute for a touchdown. And then the Jays looked like they were really going to take over. They went on an 88-yard march, 15 or so plays, 6 or so first downs. A short touchdown run from Ty Burns made it 14-7. But then Bullock Creek got great field position at their own 40-yard line. They went 7 plays into the end zone with the touchdown. It was Mr. Caden Edwards, tied it up at 14 apiece. Then the very first play of the drive for Shepherd, it was a 69-yard touchdown toss. Mason Eisenberger connecting with Noah Clevenger. Our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assisted the game to make it 21-14. Then it was another 3-and-out from Bullock Creek, and Shepherd started marching down the field again, but ultimately stalled out with a couple of penalties right near the end of the half. A missed 39-yard field goal has us going into the second half with a 21-14 score. Midland Bullock Creek, Shepherd Blue Jays. The Blue Jays on top right now, looking to get the ball in the second half. If they can go down, put together a nice drive, or even if it's a quick touchdown here, you go back up by 14, I think you can put a bit of a stranglehold on this game. Seems to be a little bit more work for Bullock Creek to get down the field than it does for the Shepherd Blue Jays. But then again, those halftime coaching adjustments, you never know what they are going to be, and so we'll see how Bullock Creek responds. Because again, Shepherd, 3 out of their 4 drives got into the end zone. The other one looked like it was going that way, but it stalled out because of a couple penalties, and you could also say the time remaining in the half as well. Shepherd leads Bullock Creek 21-14. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. We're set to kick off the second half. It is Mr. Tyler Franklin out there for the kick. It's Noah Clevenger and Mr. Ty Burns back deep to receive the kick for the Blue Jays. Little noise coming from the Blue Jays student section here as we get ready for the second half. Both teams are 3-1. Here comes the onside. Looks like Bullock Creek's going to recover it. There's a big pileup waiting to see the signal. Bullock Creek with their second kick that didn't go deep here. And it looks like Bullock Creek comes out of the pile with the football. Still waiting to see the initial call from the hat here. But it will be first down and 10. Again, still have not seen the actual first down signal for Bullock Creek, but it will be Bullock Creek football, I believe. Yes, it is first down, Midland Bullock Creek. And so the onside kick is going to really turn the momentum in this game as it's recovered by Bullock Creek to start half number 2. So it won't be Shepherd with the first possession of the second half. It will now be Bullock Creek with it near midfield. Handoff up the middle. Big time running room for the carry. Carrying tackles with him is Keister for first down yardage. What a start to the half for Bullock Creek. You get the onside kick, and then one play, your running back carries tacklers with them for a bunch of yards, and now you're set up at the Blue Jay 26-yard line. What a change in momentum to start this second half. If you weren't back in your seat, you might just be wondering how in the world Bullock Creek has the football. Keister trying to find that outside edge. Cluley turns him back inside, but he gets away from him. Now he carries tacklers with him for several more yards. What an effort out there from Adley Keister on that run. And I mentioned it, halftime adjustments. Bullock Creek comes out with the onside kick, and then Keister with 2 big runs to start this game. Back in with the play is kicked up. Kind of falling a little silent here on this side of the bleachers as the Shepherd fans, the Shepherd team, a little shell-shocked right now. They got to respond here. Handoff on the jet sweep. Edwards looking to get that outside edge. Clevenger is going to chase him down and push him out of bounds for a loss on the play. That's what you want to see from Clevenger right there. That's going to make it third down for Bullock Creek. We'll see how many yards they lost on the play. It's just going to be, actually, Where they're spotted might be a loss of 3 or 4 on the play. Actually, they're going to give them a good initial spot there. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Bullock Creek got the onside kick here to start the second half. Now looking to tie this game at 21 apiece. Wide receiver here to the near side is Swanson. We've called his name a lot. Pistol formation for Bullock Creek and kicked up. They send a man in motion here to the near side. It's Edwards. It's going to be a run for the quarterback all the way. Pours it up the outside. He's got first down yardage before he's brought down. A big time run there for Kickta. It's the first or second time we've seen the quarterback carry the ball. Similar to Eisenberger, most of the time he's going to hand it off, but both quarterbacks definitely have the capability of finding some running room and making it happen. 10:35 left to go here in quarter number 3. Shepherd leads at 21-14. Scheduled to get the ball to start the second half. A great call from Coach Jerry Orr and the crew from Bullock Creek. They go with the onside. Bullock Creek recovers it. Now they are at the 15 of Shepherd, ready to run their 5th play of this drive. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Edwards goes in motion to the far side. Handoff to Keister. Again, he is running with some attitude out there. The ball came loose, waiting on the call. Shepherd comes out of the pile with it. I have yet to see a signal from any official to say that it's Blue Jay football, and they are going to say that it remains Bullock Creek football after that one. It was a big hit out there. J&J Auto Collision Report. Bryce Smith looked like he saw a Shepherd player recover it by his reaction, but it's going to stay Bullock Creek football. 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 15-yard line of Shepherd. Big series of downs right here. And the reaction of Adam Gursky watching a little bit of delayed replay on Facebook. He's not happy that that was not a fumble call. Man in motion is Edwards. They fake it. They want to throw it. One-on-one coverage out here with Ty Burns. It's incomplete. Ty Burns stayed with it all the way through. Swanson did go up. He made the catch, came down to the ground, but credit to Burns. He played that to the end of the whistle, as my main man Brett Heibel would say. He ultimately comes up with the pass breakup, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Bullock Creek. What a play from Ty Burns. He was out there on an island. We have seen Mr. Braden Swanson make a couple of big plays for Bullock Creek. Burns probably giving up a few inches on the outside as well, but the effort breaks up the play. What a play from Ty Burns. Pistol formation look. Same single coverage here. Now they go to the other way. It's blocked by Bryce Smith. He swatted that one down like a point guard trying to take it into the lane and sending it out of bounds. That's going to bring up 4th down and 8 for Midland Bullock Creek. Talk about Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game. Just by the height and the weight of this play, whatever the outcome of this 4th down and 8 play is, could be our biggest play of the game. Kickta coming back in with the play. 4th down and 8. 9:32 left in the 3rd quarter. Shepherd leads it 21-14. Bullock Creek got the onside kick to start the second half. Looking to punch it in. They're going to throw a wide receiver here screen to the near side. It's incomplete. There to possibly break up the play anyway would have been the sophomore Alex Evans, who's having a fantastic game. So it's going to be a turnover on downs going against Midland Bullock Creek. The score will remain 21-14. And so if you're Shepherd, you dodge a huge bullet there. Bullock Creek is able to get the onside kick, but then they don't turn it into anything because your defense stands up. And again, Ty Burns with a big pass breakup on 3rd downs. Now Shepherd has it, 1st down and 10 at their own 15-yard line. I formation look for Eisenberger. He hands it off to the deep back. Van Alstein's got room. He's across the 30. Chasing him down at the 40 is going to be Swanson. But a big run from Van Alstine on the first play of the drive for Shepherd. And the momentum is now back in the blue and gold with the white helmet for the Blue Jays. Big time run there, but we have some laundry on the field. And unfortunately, it is yellow, and unfortunately, it's going to be a hold to bring it back. Oh, boy. So it would have been 1st and 10 near midfield. Now it's going to be 1st and a mile, and you were backed up to your own 15-yard line. Let's see where they actually mark this one off to. And they will say the hold occurred a little bit downfield, so it'll actually be first down and maybe 9 or so here. First and 9.5 from Showalter here. Shotgun look for Eisenberger, lined up to his right is Easton Van Alstyne. Now going to do a little switching here. Jace Deering's going to go back to fullback. Dropping back as the deep back in the I formation as Eisenberger goes under center. It's Van Alstyne as the deep back. Gets the hand up. Big room up again. Up the middle. First down yardage for the Jays. Now, one not as big there, but a big-time run from the Shepherd Blue Jays. And now super excited to be joined by Mr. Walt Berry here on the headset. And, Walt, I got to first start off by throwing me under the bus. We wanted to have the great sound going for everything, but we couldn't quite pick you up. And so I pulled up your Facebook and kind of talked through, you know, a bunch of the stuff. But what an event. We'll talk about a little bit here in between plays. But big moment in this game right now. Bullock Creek got the onside kick. Shepherd got the stop. Now they've got it back. Big-time run from Van Alstyne. He's going to pour it up the middle once again. He does a great job churning forward. He's going to be pushed back. It'll be a 5-yard gain. But talk a little bit about putting this together, the night, kind of how it went for you, Walt, the Hall of Fame night.
Well, it's our third year doing it. So, you know, kind of we kind of have this big list of what we want to do, and sometimes it's a matter of just what makes sense. But, you know, we get an event, but it's also we got to figure out who can make it, because we've got some people that live a long ways away, and we had some people came. Ray Fig came from Florida. Honor with him and his brother Dick Fig, who passed away a couple years ago, and Bruce Vino.
Is he still in Colorado?
He's actually in Montana now.
All right,
he was in Colorado, and then he was in Montana. So, yeah, I mean, we always seem to have people that travel from a long ways away. Big play.
And there goes Burns breaking a couple tackles across the 40, drugged down near the 30-yard line. The ball squirts loose. He was probably down, and it goes out of bounds anyway, but a big run there from Burns. And the one thing that I thought was cool, when I think of football early growing up, I think of Ben Brock and Jason Piles. I made what a flex move to still be out there in your varsity jacket for Mr. Piles.
Well, yeah, Jason Piles was larger than life, and you think about it, because if you're a really, really good high school football player and you're able to play Division III football, you're a phenomenal athlete. And Jason Piles was power conference good. He was power conference good. That's how good he was. He was like one of the most feared guys I can think of in all the Mid-Michigan area when he played. And a little nugget for you and your listeners, a lot of people don't know this. The Matt Brink, the guy that Jason Piles, the whole story that set him up. That guy lost hardly any matches his whole career when he was younger. The other person he lost the match to, another Shepherd kid.
Who's that?
Ben Brock in the semifinal when they were really young, state semifinal in the heavyweight little kid division. I think they were probably wearing jeans when they wrestled. I don't know, but.
But that was the only two guys he ever lost to going up all the way through was two guys from Shepherd. We've got a penalty out here. It was a short run from Van Alstyne, but another holding penalty kind of backed up the Jays here for the second time on this drive. We'll see how they respond. 21-14 the score. But so you did the event, then you went to a rehearsal, and now you're back here. I feel like that's the, I know we've got a mayor of Shepherd. I feel like you're quote unquote like the Shepherd guy. And so big shout to you for doing all this great stuff. And the 78 softball team is something I think we've got to talk a little bit about as we see the substitution coming in for Bryce Smith. So after this play, we'll talk a little bit about them. We'll kind of go through the others as well, too. Shotgun look for Eisenberger. Van Alstyne lined up to his right. He's got two wide receivers to the far side. We've got another flag coming in. Might back up the Jays even more with a false start. And so we got a few more seconds here. Talk a little bit about that 78 softball team.
So the 78 softball team, I mean, you think about the perspective. I think when you think of a great team, but their story is not just their greatness, but the timing is pretty critical. I mean, they're shortly removed from Title IX, passing girls sports as infancy all throughout the country. And Bruce Vino comes along, and he's a guy who played. He was a backup quarterback at Albion College, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
That I did not know.
Yeah, he played cornerback and played in the secondary, and then he was a backup quarterback there. Played center fielder for them in baseball, and then he comes up in Shepherd, and he just ends up being the softball coach. Like, hey, we got to start a softball team. We got Title IX. We got all these other schools are forming teams, and And he's just such a phenomenal leader.
Big run for Burns again. Jukes the guy out of his shoes. He might go to the house. 20, 10, 5. Tutty Ty Burns. I'm looking for a flag on the field. I don't see it. Maybe a little extracurricular activity out there. But the Jays on the board with a big Ty Burns touchdown run. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Is that me, or does that seem like a key moment? Second 27 in a critical moment of the season?
And again,
that's one of those you go back to when you have the end of your season. You go back to this play right there, that moment.
Yeah, that could have cracked this game open per se. And Burns he's a 3-year varsity player. He's only a junior, so the experience that he brings to the table is just unfathomable. It's just such a big deal, and to see him make big plays like that, oh baby. Big time there for Ty Burns with the long touchdown run. The extra point is up and good. It's 28-14. No commercial break. We'll keep it right here to continue to talk about the Shepherd Hall of Fame. All right, now you got a little bit of run right here, Walt. The 78 softball team.
Yeah.
Tee back off here.
So that 78 team, you think about it. Bruce Vino comes in, and he's one of his greatness things. One of the things that makes him great is that he's one of those guys, no ego whatsoever. He knows what his weaknesses were, and right at the bat, like he's been a baseball guy. He hasn't coached girls athletes at all. Softball's fairly new. He recognizes that he didn't really know how to coach pitchers yet, but he's like, okay, this is not a strength of mine. I'm gonna get some pitchers to keep the ball low until I figure it out. Keep the ball low, and I'm gonna coach them up to play really good defense. They practice infield wearing no gloves, in batting practice, like hitting the ball because they'd be quick hands, and they were a phenomenal, mentally tough team. And then his first year coaching. You know, I remember I coached girls sports for 14 years. I was a varsity basketball coach, and when I first started coaching, it kind of annoyed me. Coaches would be like, well, you know, girls, you got to coach them different. They're different than boys, and that kind of annoyed me. With him, after his first year, he realized instantly, oh, these girls are tough. I gotta push them hard, and he did, but he was such a quiet, gentle leader. He was the kind of person that you just did not want to let down. And
you think about how good of friends my dad and him were. I had no idea he played all those sports in college.
Yeah.
You know, him and my dad ran together all the time.
He never would have talked about it. You know, nobody. I don't think anybody in Shepherd ever knew who was going. Like students he had, like they didn't know he was like this great athlete.
Here comes the kick from the Blue Jays. It's going to go down the sideline. They're eventually going to pick it up just outside the 30-yard line. Nice job dancing a little bit by the Bullock Creek returner, but that's where Bullock Creek will start over. 28-14 is the score with 6:33 left to go, and then Don Lemmer, I made the joke, him and Bruce kind of live right across the street from each other for quite some time, but was it 37 years, the band director here or something like that? And the one thing, and again, I apologize for not getting your sound on there, but like I said, I kind of talked through some things. I said one of the cool things about Claude Lemmer that I remember is, where you and I, where I lived right behind the school, so many nights that Shepherd Community Band, my parents would just kind of open up the back windows, the back door, we'd have that great sound coming in, so just really, really cool to see him be honored here tonight. Shotgun look for Bullock Creek to start off this drive, a very important drive. Hand it up the middle, bit of running room, ball carrier. Suderman's going to be brought down after a gain of 4 or 5. Talk about your experience, how you know Mr. Lemmer.
Well, I'll say, in elementary, they used to give like some kind of a test, and if you had like an aptitude for it, they'd kind of push you towards band. I always wanted to be in band. I just wanted to be, and I did not do on the test, and I was kind of pushed the other way. But I just had a thrive for it. I remember going to games, and there's such a pride when the band was always so just really, really good. You knew your band was good, and there's just such a pride with that at the school. And it was, Claude Lemmer was just a major sense of pride here at the school for 37 years. Yeah.
And I think one of the coolest things when I talked about reading your stories, guys, your age, my age, we got an injury down on the field, but again, hopefully everybody's all right, but it'll give us some more time to talk about the Hall of Fame. Somebody I look up to, mentor, I think of Jay Gross. And I love how you started off kind of your thing talking about Bruce Vino with essentially a quote from Jay looking up to him as a mentor. And I feel like if you're a 90s kid, a 2000s kid from Shepherd, saying that's who Jay looked up to almost kind of says everything.
That's the way kind of Bruce Vino was. Like, he was everyone's guy. He was the guy that everyone looked up to. He was the guy that at a meeting, at a staff meeting, like when he didn't talk a lot, when he did, everyone listened and was like soaked into what he said because he was just like wisdom all the time. I like to introduce those I like to start any article with a story to kind of get blood to the story, I feel like it paints more of a picture of their persona, what they were like, the leader they were, the mentor they were, and Bruce was certainly all of that. So I do really take time to call ever. I always tell that when I talk to the inductees and I congratulate them around like February or March, the ones that are getting in. And I kind of give them the spiel, like, well, I'm just, we'll have quite a few conversations. I'm gonna talk to like your old classmates, your coaches, your ex-girlfriends, like everybody. I'm tracking down as many people as I can. I try to get as many McNuggets as I can. That when Jay told me that, I was right away. I was like, oh, that's my intro. That's the intro of the article, no doubt about it. Because that
you look at what he's doing now.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly.
And it's funny to think, would he have never done that if it wasn't for Bruce? Maybe not.
That subtle way of giving inspiration. That was like his gift. That was Bruce Veno's gift. His subtle way of just being a quiet mentor and leader. And I think of him as like the kind of guy you just didn't want to let down. You did not want to let that man down.
And now, I never had him for science class, actually. I was always with Miss Cheney. Did you ever have him for science class?
I did, yeah.
All right. What do you remember about him as a teacher?
You had to be on your toes. Like, he was such a good teacher. He was so gifted. And he could, like, he'd just have some teachers have complete control of a classroom without having to, have a loud energy about him. Like, he just did that. But, like, if you weren't paying attention, he was going to fire a question at you. And you had to know your stuff. You had to know what you're talking about. And he would not let you get away with a quick quib to kind of, like, get out of it. Yep. Like, he was not going to let you off the hook. So you had to come prepared. Like, you had to be prepared.
Big 3rd down and 1 play here after Suderman comes off with the injury. Hopefully we see 11 back in for Bullock Creek. He's been one of their key players. Haniff up the middle. I don't think they got it. Shepard's going to trip him up in the backfield. Coming up out of that pile, the senior star, Bruce Smith. They do give him a little bit of forward momentum. Oh, they're going to say they got first down yardage. And best seat in the house brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. Those officials got a lot better view than we do up here on the field, so they will get first down yardage. Now, next guy, was it Glowacki? Is it the next guy?
Chris Glowacki. Well, we got a lot. I don't know what the order is, but I know them all in my head here. Yeah, Chris Glowacki, class of 1973. He weighed 85 pounds as a freshman. Coach Rinke was another legendary coach over the time, and Coach Rinke one of those people, he carried around a $100 bill with him wherever he went because someone might need it. Just for that reason.
Oh, big-time running room here up the middle. And back into the game is Suderman tearing off a big-time run. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. You talk about responding after coming back into the game after having an injury. He goes out one play, comes back in the next and says, hey, guys, I'm fine. Give me the football. Big-time run there.
That's a big play.
Yep.
Rinke was so good at like just finding kids and finding who's talented. He has a PE class, and this little 85-pound freshman runs it, and he's like, oh, this kid can run. And he ends up, placing at states as a freshman. And the next year just got a little more motivated, kept improving. He qualified for states that year. And then he also had a Sam Meyer, a kid that was a year behind him that was really phenomenal. So he had to really work hard to stay seconds ahead of the kid that was right behind him on the team. And
this is cross-country.
Cross-country is when it started. And then track came later because Rinke was a track coach as well. Now, normally a lot of cross-country coaches, the cross kids are going to run the 2 mile and the mile. But he kind of sensed a speed in him, so he put him in the 800, and he just really excelled at that. The time he ran the 157.9, he ran got second in the state meet, that was on a cinder track. And I don't think people can appreciate what that's like today.
Wow.
Like, because a cinder track, it starts out hard, but as the meet goes on, it's not like running in sand, but it's in that area, right? And he ran that time to run in a cinder track it's for track people that know what that's like, that's almost unfathomable.
Alex Evans in the backfield again for the Blue Jays. The sophomore's having a great night against Bullock Creek. We also saw Suderman kind of limp out once again. He is toughing it out there for Bullock Creek. We've got another huge 3rd down and 9 play here. Under 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Jays lead at 28-14 over Bullock Creek. It's Chris Bachman and Walt Berry talking Shepherd Hall of Fame night as well with Adam Gursky on the camera. Shotgun look, 2 running backs in the backfield trying to find room here to the near side. It's going to be brought down by Sam King. It's going to be really close. It'll be 4th down, but it's definitely the type of territory where Bullock Creek's going to go for it. We saw a turnover on downs deep in Blue Jay territory from Bullock Creek the last time we had the ball. 4th down and short here. This has got to be Keister. This has got to be Suderman carrying the ball here for Bullock Creek in this situation. Clock continues to move. 3:25 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
I got my keys out for a key play.
You got the little key play here for Walt Berry.
I feel it's more of it's a key fob. It's not even a key play. It's a key fob play. It's a key fob play.
Exactly. Shotgun look for Kikta. They hand it off to Keister. No, it's a fake. It's going to be taking it into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's a great play
He's
call.
carried it just 2 times here tonight, and both times he has. I don't want to say Shepard hasn't been ready for it, but you've got to respect the running back going up the middle on that 4th down and short play. Gets into the end zone to make it 28-20. A battle here with Bullock Creek and the Blue Jays here in the 3rd quarter. 3:04 left to go. And this is a big extra point here because if you're Bullock Creek, you don't want to have to force yourself to go for 2 if you don't get this. And if you're Shepard, you realize this is a big moment right here to possibly keep this an 8-point game. Out there for the kick is Franklin. Decent snap, decent hold. Kick is up.
Oh, that's
it
wide.
is good. 28-28 is the score. And again, we won't send it out to a commercial here in this moment because we want to keep talking Shepard Hall of Fame. And so Glowacki, was that kind of everything about him? Is there more to talk about?
Ran a 15:38 cross-country record, 15 minutes, 38 seconds. Cross record that stood for 38 years. That 800 record stood for 51 years. Went on to become a marathon runner. He ran a cross at Ferris, and they were 10th and 9th in the country 2 years in a row. He was a big part of that program. First, he was an all-conference runner. Then he started running marathons, and he kind of went. Really, that's when he was his peak, when he was in his mid-30s.
All right.
He ran a 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 38-second marathon, just 2 minutes and 38 seconds shy of the Olympic qualifying standard time at that time. And he was working like a manual labor job full time, like physical demanding work and then training.
So
really impressive.
You could argue he's maybe the closest Shepard person to, closest to getting to the Olympics, maybe out of anybody type of thing.
Well, sure.
Hopefully you've got more stories on that as the years go on too. I'll make that joke. But kind of continuing to roll through, let's talk about now the 1970 graduate, Joe Muggenberg.
Joe Muggenberg was the Wilt Chamberlain of Shepard basketball. I think I tell this thing in there that there's only one other player so far that I found. I could be wrong. Lon Bohannon had a 19 rebound game in 1970 as well. Bill White had 4 20 rebound games. Outside of Bill White, no one else has had a 20 rebound game that I'm aware of. In most schools, that's 22, 24 rebounds is typically a school record. Joe Muggenberg averaged 20 rebounds a game his junior year of high school, 17 points a game. And then his senior year, he goes on, he averages 20 points a game and 23 rebounds a game average. He had 3 30-30 games. That's unreal. It's just hard to imagine that or what it would look like or what it looked like playing at that time.
High school basketball games are 32 minutes, too. Let's point that out as well.
Whenever I tell his classmates that stat, they always say, man, we missed a lot of shots.
This one's going to be kickoffs. It's another short one. It's fielded on the run this time by the sophomore Alex Evans. And so Shepard's going to have it near midfield, and this could be the drive of the game. We've seen Shepard with 4 scoring drives. One of them was 51 seconds. One of them was 8:44. One of them was 12 seconds. And another one of them was 2:51. If you can have another 7-minute touchdown drive here, you could essentially put the nail in the coffin, brought to you by Barry Funeral. we'll make that joke.
I like that.
Own 46-yard line for the Jays here, taking over. Single back look, man in motion. A lot of tight ends out there, though, for the Jays. They're going to hand this one up the middle. Finding that room is Van Alstyne. We've got another flag coming in. The flags have been pouring in against the Shepard offense going back to the end of that first half, and they were driving down the field and ultimately got backed up where they couldn't get a field goal. So as we see the officials mark off some more yardage here, back into Joe Muggenberg, the Wilt Chamberlain of Shepard.
Yeah, Joe. So, in a big part of the story, well, first off, Joe's like the most humble guy you're ever going to meet. Never talks about himself. And the 69, his junior year, and that senior year, he was the only senior that started. He had a bunch of underclassmen. They got to the regionals and were up 3 with the ball with the minute 13 left against Franklin, who was ranked number 1 in the state, and almost went to the regional finals after beating them, knocking off a really huge opponent. Franklin, with at that time in 1970, went 6'7", 6'5", 6'5", 6'4", 6 foot. Woo! That's their starting 5 in 1970 in Frankenmuth. And, let us slip through the fingers, but, just what a season. Oh, there's a big play.
Nice run from Van Alstyne. He's going to essentially get to where he would have been. It probably would have been a 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 after the holding penalty. It'll essentially be the same thing with that 2nd down and short. And so Muggenberg also, he looked like he still grabbed 20 rebounds when he was standing out there with you, didn't he?
Shaking his hands. I've got big hands. My hands are pretty huge, and when I shake his hands, I feel like it just engulfs. It's completely in his hands. Him and Jason Piles both, by the way. Some people are just so huge, and Yeah.
Van Alstyne will have first down yardage up the middle. No flag on this one as the Jays look to put together another drive. We've got 1:59 remaining in the third quarter. First down and 10 for the Blue Jays. And after Mr. Muggenberg, it kind of goes to the Fig brothers, 51-52. And I feel like you essentially said of like they're the foundation of Shepherd football kind of a thing in a way. And obviously playing for a long time, Bahuna started before that, but they were maybe two first stars or something like that.
Well, there's an undefeated team in 1941. I think that was probably the first undefeated team. But that team in 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, that was like, I guess your first Shepherd dynasty would have been that era.
Yep.
And they were rolling. Dick Fig was on a sophomore up on varsity in 49, and that was a team that went undefeated and defeated their opponents that year by a total of 253 points to 6. Breckenridge in the second to last game of the season scored a touchdown with like 3 minutes left in the game, and that was the only touchdown they allowed all year. And so, but that group went on to just have a lot of success. And, you build programs up front, and those guys were just great linemen. Dick, and, of course, they go out and play at CMU together. And how cool is it? They got a left guard and left tackle that are brothers playing at CMU. They end up being first team all-conference linemen together. That's just so cool. And to hear the stories of where they went back and visited, because Ray came back from Florida, and Dick passed away 2 years ago. And Dick's son Marty, they're driving by. They went by the house that they lived at in CMU. They lived in a garage, in someone's garage. That's where they lived. And these guys went on to have great professional careers, but to them, like, they were young and they were hanging out with their buddies. They were doing a football team. Like, they loved
time of their lives, and they go, look, it's just a garage now.
Yeah, they were living in a garage.
Hand off to Van Alstyne once again. He's been the go-to guy on this drive. He's going to pour it in. He carries tacklers with him. Woo, pile is a moving there for Van Alstyne. A little J&J Auto collision report from the running back. That's now 3 plays, 2 first downs on this drive. And you talk about sending a message. Bullock Creek comes down and scores. You come out and you kind of punch him right back in the throat, taking it into Bullock Creek territory. Now you just got to finish this drive.
Well, I like that. He makes a good run, but everyone on the team immediately, there's no hesitation. They all sprint up to the play and give him that extra push to give him an extra 3 yards, because it's kind of, that's a lot of foresight there that they'll do anything it takes for that extra yard.
Yes, exactly. And seeing it from more than just your running back.
Yeah, that's culture.
Yep. And say if you're Coach Robinson, Coach Angie, you got to absolutely love that. Man in motion is Anderson Sickles to the far side of the formation. Hand off to Van Alstyne once again. He's got a big hole up the middle. He's going to be tripped up from behind. Nice open field tackle. Van Alstyne's got first down yardage once again. Man, he has been able to pour it up the middle. When there hasn't been flags, it's been big-time yardage for Shepherd every time. And I think we're having some cramping issues right now for Midland Bullock Creek, because it seems like every other play right now we've got a little bit of stoppage, but I'll make the joke again. Kind of works out pretty well for you and me as we wanted to talk Hall of Fame, and so a little bit more about the Fig brothers as we kind of wrap things up.
Yeah, so Dick and Ray Fig, they, and Ray was almost 3 years younger than Dick, but only a year behind him in school, so he's a late bloomer, and eventually by the time, he's an offensive lineman his whole time, and there's some other people in that group that people don't know about. There's a Bud Smith who was a state champion in the 100-meter. Or 100 yards. They ran 100 yards then in the 50s. And he's like, he could do a backflip, just standing and just jump to a backflip. I don't think there's a lot of, dudes from Shepherd doing that kind of stuff.
Did you ever just do a standing backflip? No? All right. Hey, Gursky's a lot more athletic than you and I were, Wallace. So if it was one of us three, it was going to be him.
So Bud Smith is this great running back that was so fast, and then Neil Green was the quarterback. And that time, if you were the quarterback in high school, you called all the plays. The coaches didn't run plays in. The quarterback called the play. And Neil got brought up at 49, and the starting quarterback gets hurt. Neil Green comes up as a sophomore. I mean, this is a dude who got to try out for the Tigers, other pro teams in baseball. He comes up, and he's just a smart guy, calls the plays. Forsyth, the coach at that time, ends up being a Hall of Fame coach. And at his Hall of Fame induction, he said, well, I owe a lot of my Hall of Fame to that guy right there, opponent Neil Green, who called the plays at quarterback. And Bud Smith, as fast as he was, couldn't catch a ball. And they run Dick Fig, who was a lineman, but they'd split him out just a little bit, and it was like a hitch pitch. The only way they could try to get Bud out in the open field, they'd run a quick, like, little short pass to Dick Fig. They'd pass it to him, and he'd do like a little handoff pitch to Bud, and that's how they could get him in the open field a little bit. Whenever Dick Fig would run into Neil Green, he'd run into him and say, hey, hitch pitch on 2, hitch pitch on 2. And these guys are in their late 80s, and every time they see each other, they'd smile, they'd light up.
They'd probably say hitch pitch on 2.
When they'd come to funerals, I'd see him at a funeral here and there, and and then if Dick saw him, he would say that, like, hey, Neil, hitch pitch on 2, because you go back those good memories, right? And they're all those guys are just jolly guys that are just good mood, good spirits all the time, and the Fig brothers were all that. But Ray, his senior year, after they graduated the stud running backs, they moved him from offensive lineman to fullback, and he led all the area in rushing his senior year. He went from being a lineman, and they put him fullback, and he led the area in rushing. And that's even after missing the last 2 games of the season. He had a bad ankle injury.
Wow.
He still led the area in rushing as a fullback at that time. That would have been 1952.
All right. First down and 10 for the Jays at the Bullock Creek 12, so they can still pick up a touchdown before going into the end zone. We're under a minute remaining now in the third quarter. Jays did march it right down the field. Van Alstyne looks to get to the outside, gets away from one man, turns it back in, does a great job getting a little something out of what should have been nothing. The effort there from Van Alstyne, just fantastic. Actually, give him 3 yards. He maybe should have had 1 there.
Yeah.
Let's go under a minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. We'll see if Shepard's going to run another play here or not. I don't think they will. I think that, Eisenberger's trotting back in with the play. Now looking back to see, are we going to run a play here or not? And we will not. And, again, that'll give us time to kind of finish up things here at the end of the third quarter. Thanks so much coming up here, Walt, talking Hall of Fame stuff. The last thing I want to talk about, pulled up the 1978 softball team.
Mm-hmm.
Knew Mr. Vino was a coach, but there was another coach on there, football legend, Mr. Hackney. Was it Glenn or Gene? Glenn Hackney on there. And so seeing that was just kind of like, man, that guy did everything for a lot of people. If you're getting into the Hall of Fame, you did everything for Shepherd that you could. But you talk about giving a little something more, I feel like seeing them there with the softball coach, that was pretty cool.
Well, posting that picture, by the way, because young Glenn Hackney, posting that picture of that 78 team when he was a young guy, he looked just like John Travolta. So people, when they see the picture, like, who is that? Is that Glenn Hackney? Yeah, he looked just like John. I don't mean just like John Travolta. And he wasn't going to come out there today. And I actually, what nudged him a little bit was because he was like, wow, I was just helping out. I was like, well, like first off, you got to come out here. You were a part of the team. That is a big deal. Secondly, you have to come out here so that way you stay one Hall of Fame induction ahead of your brother. You got to stay one up on him. Because some of those football teams will get his teams. I was like, so this is your chance to stay one up on. And then he came right out there. He came out. That convinced him pretty quick to get his butt out there.
Pretty darn cool. But as we head to the fourth quarter, Wall, I'll let you go hang out with your kids here some more. But thanks so much for joining me, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you're doing for the Hall of Fame, man. Really, really cool stuff, man. And we didn't catch up for the podcast this year. Next year, we'll get back on then.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, too, and we'll see if we can do this, that I should narrate the things and we should make little cartoon videos to them. And so maybe that's something that we could work out here in the future. But, Walt, thanks so much for joining me, man. And actually stick around here for the 2nd down and 7 play. Jay's got it just inside the 10-yard line. Hand off to Van Alstyne. He looks to get the edge. He's turned back inside. It's going to be a solid gain here of maybe 6 or 7 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down. Actually, we're going to give him 4 on that one. Bring up 3rd down and short here. I'm going to make you put the football coach's hat on. What are you drawing up on this 3rd down and short, Walt?
It's hard to get creative because pounding it is just working. So it's like sometimes you want to be creative in these moments, and then you put yourself in a bad spot. It's like, do we get creative here? Really get them on a call? But what the ground and pound is just working. It's kind of hard to go away from that.
Yep.
And every time Van Alstyne, it seems like he's got a 2-yard gain. It turns into 4.
I like that point right there. Sickles goes in motion. It is a handoff to Van Alstyne all the way. Once again, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Jays. I think that's the 7th play of the drive. Van Alstyne takes it in for the TD, and a big response right there after Bullock Creek made it 28-21. You march it right down the field in about 4.5 minutes, take it into the end zone, and now got a chance to go back up by 2 scores with 11-12 left to go in our ball game. You called it there, Walt.
That was big boy ball.
Yep.
That was big boy football right there.
And you pointed out, for the way Van Alstyne's been carrying the rock, why not give it to the junior? Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game. We got 2 touchdown tosses from Mr. Eisenberger. But, man, Van Alstyne's been really good. It's now 35-21 after the extra point. We're going to take a break. Big shout out to Walt Berry. Join us here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and Berry Funeral Home for being a fantastic sponsor.
Thanks,
Back with more right after this.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Another big thank you to Walt Berry for everything he does for the Shepherd community and also what he does for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, one of our great sponsors here and one of the first sponsors of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. This kickoff is going to be fumbled a little bit out there. It was a good decision by Cody Parsons. He thought he might be mishandling it a little bit, and so he just kind of dives on it. And that is where Bullock Creek will take over. If you're Bullock Creek starting to get down to the short time, you've got to make something happen here in a hurry, and they're going to have it at their own, waiting to see the exact spot here where the football comes in, their own 25-yard line. And the Shepherd Blue Jays, they have really made it happen. They have scored every time they've had the football except for their one possession near the end of the first half. If you're Bullock Creek, you might be able to score here, but the big thing if you're Midland Bullock Creek, you got to stop Shepherd at this point. Handoff, looking for some room is Keister. He's going to be up in it. Ooh, coming in to clean it up. J&J Auto collision report. Braddock Payne owes the tip of the cap to Wes Cluley because Wes Cluley kind of turned him around as Payne came in to really clean that one up. Clock moving. It's now a big factor in this one, 35-21. 6:28 left to go in the third quarter. Ithaca now cleaning up on Hemlock up 30-0. More score updates. Beal up big at the half, 35-0. Oilers up big at the half, 40-0. We'll check back in with Ogama Heights and Sacred Heart here in a few. Second down and short for Bullock Creek. They're going to go to the air. Throwing to the far side here. Hardapee out there in coverage. What a catch! Coming up with it on the dive on the far side of the field. Every time it's a big play, it seems like it's Swanson for Bullock Creek. He comes up with the long reception. It was great defense from Ty Hardapee. He was with them step for step, got his arms up, but it was a great throw. It was a great catch from kick to Swanson. Clock continues to move, but if you're Bullock Creek, those are the type of big plays you need to get back into this game. But I'll say it again, you got to get a stop defensively. That is going to be the difference for Bullock Creek, in my opinion. They might be able to score here, but will Shepherd be able to march it right down the field once again? They're going to get him to jump off sides, but Shepherd gets back onside. Run here to the near side for Keister. He's going to be brought down by Clevenger and a host of Blue Jays. It's essentially a third play of the drive, and again, you know your boy not exactly having it all there, but it was a big catch. We've got 2 players down now for Midland Bullock Creek, and again, the cramps continue to be an issue. We now have a flag coming out on the field from the white hat, who's kind of standing off by himself. I'm not sure exactly what he saw, or can you eventually, or we do have one player down like he may have gotten hit and another player down like he's got cramps, but we're going to see what the exact call is here from the official. If it's Shepherd and a personal foul penalty, no, it's going to go against Bullock Creek to back him up. Ooh, boy, if you're Midland Bullock Creek, that is bad news there. 9:44 left in our fourth. It's 35-21 Shepherd. You know, we're coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. We had our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. So far, Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game is the long touchdown connection from Mason Eisenberger to Mr. Noah Clevenger. Think about that. Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game. Eisenberger has been terrific from his quarterback position, but then Van Alstyne has also carried a big load tonight for the Shepherd Blue Jays as well. 35-21 the score. Score updates brought to you by Brad Malley Well Drilling, Malley Construction, and Clark Modular Homes. Going to pull up that NFHS network and check in on the Clare Pioneer score as they were taking on Ogama Heights. Last we checked, it was Ogama Heights up 28-7, heading towards halftime there. And Clare, really tough games back-to-back, taking on rival Gladwin last week, falling to them 28-26. Now taking on the defending conference champs and the favorites to win the Jack Pine 1. Ogama Heights now 34-7. Ogama Heights on top of Clare. Again, Beale City's up big. Mount Pleasant is up big. It's a battle with Sacred Heart Academy and East Jordan. We'll see if we can get another score update coming from that game. Then Sacred Heart Academy back in 8-man football for the first time 8-9 years. Score there 28-12 is the score there. East Jordan on top of Sacred Heart Academy. That's the Irish battling up there, but trailing 14-12. Or pardon me, it was 14-12 at the half. Now 28-12 with 5 minutes or 9 minutes left there in the first quarter. Not exactly super clear on the scoreboard there. So tonight it looks like Shepherd, if they can hold up here defensively, get something going on offense again, they might be able to move to 4-1. But Beale City, Ithaca, Mount Pleasant all look like they're going to move to 5-0, winning big. Running clocks happening probably in all three of those games at this point. Players still down on the field from Midland Bullock Creek. Hope they are all right. It's going to have us sending it off to a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Got 9:44 left in the fourth quarter. Back with more Blue Jay football after this. They lead it 35-21.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network in our Barberry Law Studios, built by Conwinski Construction. It is 35-21 Shepherd. There's 9:44 left to go in our ball game. Player down on the field right now for Midland Bullock Creek has been down for quite some time. Never what you like to see, but I always say the risk that these football players put out is well worth the reward that you can get for the experiences that you get out there on the high school football field. 35-21, Shepherd leads. Again, last I heard, Ithaca was up 30-0, 34-0. Beale City was up big going into half. Same going for Mount Pleasant. Running clocks are going to be happening in all three of those games with Ithaca, with Beale City, with Mount Pleasant, as all five of those ultra-locals move to 5-0 on the year. Sacred Heart Academy trails East Jordan. If they drop that game, they would fall to 2-3 on the year. Other things happening, the Clare Pioneers taking on Ogama Heights. They look like they could fall in that game. That would drop them to 3-2 on the season and be back-to-back losses with rivals Gladwin and Ogama Heights. And Keister is up. He's going to head to the sideline. And Adley Keister has been one of the better players for Midland Bullock Creek in this game at running back. And so if he's not able to come back into this game, which it doesn't look like he will be able to as he's headed towards the far sideline, that's another big loss for Midland Bullock Creek. But again, Kikta and Swanson have kind of been the through-the-air combination, and with the time, with the score, with how far they're backed up because of a penalty going against a coach on the far sideline yelling at one of the officials. Big shout out to Showalter and the crew here for keeping me up to date on that. It is now 2nd down and a mile for Midland Bullock Creek. They trail 35-21. If Shepherd can get it back after this series of downs, they're going to feel really good moving to 4-1 on the year. Clock is starting now as the officials get them to wind it. Shotgun look. They're looking to go to the air. Throw over the middle. There's going to be a flag on the play. Hardapee getting tied up with Swanson a little bit out there. I don't think Hardapee is going to like the call. I think he just might have actually got his hand kind of caught up in there a little bit. And so there was a bit of a hold. It kind of hold up Swanson a little bit. So that will be a flag. But again, I think the 15 yards will still not give them a first down, or if it's an automatic first down. That's one of those calls that your boy gets confused from time to time because it seems to be different at every level of football as you go up and down the way. And they're talking about, is it an automatic first down or not? And again, I don't think it is. Again, one of those few rules that changes every level of football you go to. So they continue to mark it off. It will bring up second down, and we'll call it 4 after the penalty. 9:35 left to go in our ball game. Shepherd leads it 35-21. 3-1 Bullock Creek, 3-1 Blue Jays. Shepherd looking to move to 4-1 on the year. Big test next week. I believe it's Gladwin. Then after that, you're going to have the Pioneers. Toss over the middle. It will be completed for first down yardage to Edwards. 9:28 left in our ball game. Clock moving. Clock is now your best friend if you're the Shepherd Blue Jays. I believe that was, what, fifth play or so for Bullock Creek. They've picked up 2 first downs. This drive started at their own 25. Had a big pass play to get them here in near at the red zone of Shepherd, I will say, with 9:10 left in our fourth quarter. Shotgun look, one running back on each side for Kikta. He wants to throw it. One-on-one coverage out there with Hardapee. It's going to be incomplete. Great defense from Hardapee. Face guarding the defender out there. Swanson and Hardapee kind of pointing at each other a little bit, and it might be a joke of, man, you're just as fast as I am out there, as they just kind of ran together down the sideline. And I believe 6 play or so coming up of the drive here for Midland Bullock Creek. They've got it second down and 10 at the 20-yard line of Shepherd. Braddock Payne coming out of the game. Irvin coming in for him as the big senior gets a bit of a rest. And it was Braddock Payne, Sam King, and Bryce Smith sat down with myself and Coach Angel earlier this week, talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Great being able to catch up with those 3 seniors. And they're so excited for their senior year and how things have started. Big answer back week here this week, and it's looking good so far. Wide open over the middle is the receiver. It goes right through the wickets of Lincoln Tetloff. If you're Tetloff, you say, oh, man, I want that one back. Bearing down on him was Alex Evans, and Evans did a good job pulling up a little bit after that was incomplete. But the other thing that would have happened with that hit that would have been interesting, it would have been like me trying to level Bubba McClain. There was a lot of size out there for Tetloff. It would have been interesting to see Mr. Evans would have had to come in with perfect form there. But now it's going to make it third down and 10. It's definitely 4-down territory here for Midland Bullock Creek. $8:54 left in the ball game. Shotgun look. Quarterback and running back bump into each other, and that allows Ty Burns to come in for the sack. The ball is loose, but they're going to say he was down. It's going to bring up 4th down and long. Ty Burns into the backfield with the sack to make it 4th and long. Bullock Creek's definitely going to have to go for it here. $8:39 left to go in our ball game. 4th down and a mile here for Midland Bullock Creek. Pistol formation. Burns applied pressure once again. They throw it up for grabs. Incomplete. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Giving it back to the Blue Jays. There are no flags. Shepherd 8:19 away from a 4-1 start. I keep talking about 2009. That would also be the last time the Jays were 4-1. So now you look over, it has been a turnover on downs twice in the second half for Midland Bullock Creek. Shepherd has it 8:19 left to go at their own 25-yard line. And I just heard it from Showalter. Power right to Van Alstyne. Burns is out there as well, but I expect Shepherd to keep it on the ground as much as they can here. Burns got to take it back to the inside. We've got a flag coming in very, very late. This could back up the Blue Jays. 8:13 left to go. Let's see. The penalty was initially 1st down and 10 for the Jays. Wouldn't have been much of a pickup there for Burns. A nice job by Bullock Creek kind of stringing things out defensively and turning that sideline into the 12th defender, as my main man John Bevere would say. And that will back up the Blue Jays. There's a short "you can't do that" chant coming from the Shepherd students, and I think they realize, oh wait, that's on us. We don't want to do that. 1st and 20 now for the Jays. Clock winds and continues to run. By the time the Blue Jays snap this ball, it'll be under or right around 8 minutes remaining. Man in motion, goes towards the center. Handoff all the way. It's Van Alstyne. Does a good job plugging forward. Van Alstyne here tonight has turned what should have been every 1 yard gain into 3 or 4. Every 3 or 4 yard gain into 5 or 6. Every 5 or 6 yard gain into 7, 8, and sometimes even more. It's been a really, really impressive night for the junior running back, Mr. Easton Van Alstyne. When you think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, I think I've got Van Alstyne and Eisenberger pretty darn close together, along with that offensive and defensive front when you think about the Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game. Tight formation here in the eye. Anderson Sickles goes in motion to the far side. I imagine they're going to run it that way. They actually fake it. They want to throw it. It's tossed out by Eisenberger. It's going to be tipped, almost intercepted. Closest guy on that play was Cody Parsons. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 14 here for the Blue Jays at their own 21-yard line. 7:11 left to go in quarter number 4. Some of the stands emptying out here a bit at Shepherd, as there was so many people here for Youth Football Night, Hall of Fame night, but still a fantastic crowd on both sides here with Midland Bullock Creek and Shepherd, as both teams fight to move to 4-1 on the year. Right now, Shepherd is in control, but they're backed up. 3rd and 14, their own 21-yard line. Eisenberger is going to be in the shotgun. Lined up to his left is Jace Deering. Lined up to his right is Van Alstyne. It's Bryce Smith to the far side of the field at wide receiver. They hand this one off all the way. Not a lot of running room for the ball carrier Van Alstyne out there. That's going to bring up 4th down, and this could be the first punt we've seen from Shepherd all game. Got a timeout coming from Bullock Creek with 6:57 left to go. We'll take this timeout back with 4th down right after this.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 4th down and 14. The Jays out there in punting formation. 6:57 left to go in our ball game. If you're Bullock Creek, you're going to have to score and score in a hurry. This is the first time the Blue Jay defense has been stopped out there. They're still kind of backed up by a penalty as well. Kick is going to go across midfield, right around to the 43 or so, I think, is where Midland Bullock Creek will take over. With 6:47 left to go in the ballgame. We do have a flag on the far side of the field. More score updates brought to you by Malley Construction, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and our friends at Clark Modular Homes. Final score coming from Mount Pleasant already, 54-14. The Oilers moved to 5-0. Last I heard it was 54-0 Ithaca over Hemlock. Ithaca headed to 5-0 on the year. Beal up big, headed to 5-0 on the year as well. Sacred Heart Academy, Clare are two ultra-local teams that were trailing. We will check back in with each of those teams here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network as I look up the NFHS network to get those score updates for you. We're going to do the punt once again as it kind of backed up the Jays. Looking to get a little bit better field position out there is Midland Bullock Creek. It's Edwards back deep to receive the kick. 6:47 left to go. And we've got another flag coming in. Back there to punt things away for Shepherd, it's Ty Hardapy. And final score coming from Dave McKinney in Beale City. They win it 42-0 over Houghton Lake. So all three of our teams that were 4-0 on the year will move to 5-0 on the year. And Beale City has yet to give up a meaningful touchdown yet. 5-yard penalties that back them up even more. Hardapy with a really high punt here. Not going to be a great chance for a return. See if it takes a Shepherd bounce. It kind of does, and it kind of takes a little bit more of a bounce. And then for some reason, a Bullock Creek player comes in and grabs the football at the very end. That could have been a disastrous play for Bullock Creek. But it'll be 1st down and 10 for Midland Bullock Creek. They will have it in Shepherd territory. So they have a chance to make something happen here. They've got it at the Blue Jay 40-yard line. If you're Bullock Creek, there's still plenty of time to come back in this game, but it's got to happen, and it's got to happen in a hurry, and in particular on this drive. When Bullock Creek has gone to the air, it's Ben Swanson. He's lined up to the far side of the field. Single coverage out there with him and Ty Hardapy. Pistol formation. 2 wide receivers to the near side here for Kikta. They're going to throw a wide receiver screen to the near side. A get away from one man. 25, 20. There goes Edwards into the end zone for a touchdown. There are no flags. Bullock Creek with the 40-yard touchdown strike on the first play of the drive on the wide receiver screen. Oh, boy, Bullock Creek, the old Lee Corso saying, not so fast, my friend. First play of the drive, they get in with the Edwards TD from Kikta. Big time there. Now we have a big-time extra point upcoming. Because as time continues to dwindle here, that 8-point to a 7-point lead can be a big deal for Shepherd. Couple last-minute guys coming in on the extra point for Midland Bullock Creek. Out there for the holds is Edwards, and Franklin out there for the extra, to kick the extra point. It's 35-27. This 1 point here would be big for Bullock Creek. It's up, it's good, and I tell you what, Mr. Franklin looks like he could kick them from 40, 50 yards. It's 35-28. What a response from Bullock Creek. We'll see if Shepherd can drown this game away once they get the football back. We've got 6:23 left to go. Back with more Blue Jay football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Welcome back to our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Oh boy, what a game this has been. Shepherd's kind of been in control the entire game, but they've let Bullock Creek just hang around. Bullock Creek just kind of laying in the weeds, waiting for Shepherd to make a mistake now at this point as they get at the Shepherd 40 and score on one play. There's 6:23 left to go in our ball game. The Blue Jays will get the football, we think, because this second half did start with an onside kick from Bullock Creek. And with the way Shepherd's moved the football on you, well, I say that, but if you're Bullock Creek, you finally just got a 3 and out, so maybe you feel some more confidence in your defense. Out there for the kick is Franklin. He does kick the onside once again. Shepard is there, ready to field it, and the Blue Jays will have the ball at midfield after they were ready for the onside kick this time. But I almost can't blame Bullock Creek going for it here with the way Shepard's been able to run the football. If you're Shepard, if you can avoid penalties on this drive, I think you will come out of here a winner and move to 4-1 on the year. If you're Bullock Creek, you're selling out right now. Essentially telling Eisenberger and Smith, if you want to try and toss it here, here's one-on-one coverage. Out there with that one-on-one coverage is Cody Parsons. Hand off to Van Alstyne. Big room up the middle. Ball's loose. The ball is loose. It's going to be Bullock Creek football. That high and tight turnover battle just may have swung big time towards Midland Bullock Creek. It will be Lancers football as they take over after the fumble on the first play of the drive. Oh boy, for the first time tonight, you could say Miss Momentum is dressed in all white. 6:09 left to go here in the fourth quarter. And a great defensive play to just punch that one out. Bullock Creek comes up to the line with new life, trailing by 7 here in the fourth quarter. They've got it at their own 38-yard line. Last two plays from scrimmage have been a touchdown from Bullock Creek and a fumble from the Jays. Big time running out there from Suderman. He's been in and out of the game with injuries, with cramps. Needs a little bit of help getting up, but he still carries the pile forward for a few yards. And now if you're Bullock Creek, the clock's not near as much of a factor here because you've got 5:45 left to go in the game, and now it's just a one-score game. And you go back, 11:09 left to go in the ball game. Bullock Creek got the ball at their own 25. A Tyburn sack backed them up. It was a turnover on downs. Since then, Shepard went 3 and out. Bullock Creek scored on their first drive. Then it was a fumble on the first play. They go to the air here. What a catch on the far side. It's a one-hand snag from Braden Swanson. One of the best high school football catches you will ever see. What a play from Braden Swanson on the snag. I cannot believe he came up with that football. What a big momentum play for Bullock Creek as it takes them into Blue Jay territory. We have a player down for the Jays on the far side of the field, but you think about that Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game, that is the best play that we will see tonight from Braden Swanson. I mentioned the 69-yard touchdown toss was going to be hard to take over. It was going to have to take a special, amazing play, even for Bullock Creek to have the player, the play of the game honors brought to you by Bill's Custom Fab. But that's going to do it right there. Swanson with one paw goes up and snags it. It's now 35-28. Bullock Creek 32 yards away from getting down by 1 point. Holy moly, what a game we have had here today. Well, the player down on the far side of the field, we'll set it out to another break here to hear from our friends at Mount Pleasant Automotive and the crew. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to that action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It was an unbelievable catch moments ago from Braden Swanson. Before that, it was a fumble from Shepard turning it over. This game is still wide open. It did not seem like it would be heading into this fourth quarter. Shepard up 35-21 with 11:09 left in the fourth. Since then, Shepard's had a 3-and-out. Bullock Creek scored on the first play. Then it was a fumble from Shepherd on their first play of the drive. Now a big-time pitch and catch from Bullock Creek has got him in business at the Blue Jay 32 after they started this drive at their own 38-yard line with 6:09 remaining in quarter number 4. Kikta is going to be in the shotgun. Shout out to my main man, Grant Palmer, who is watching this game. Not sure if he's here, if he's at home, or where he's watching it from, but a big shout out and a belated happy birthday to my main man, Grant Palmer. Here we go, 5:22 left to go in our game. Shepherd leads at 35-28. In the pistol formation is Kikta. They fake it. They want to go back to the air. Kikta's flushed out of the pocket. He's got to run it. He's going to be brought down after a short gain by Bryce Smith. Smith contacted him near the line of scrimmage. Kikta did a nice job kind of falling forward, stumbling, and they're going to give him a 5-yard spot on the play. We are now under 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Shepherd leads at 35-28. Our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Our Bird All-American Grill post-game show coming up after this one. Oh, boy. Still have no idea what we're going to be talking about because a lot to still be decided with the Lancers and the Blue Jays. Hand off to Suderman up the middle. He's going to carry the pile with them for extra yardage. It's going to be very close to the first down. That was the 4th play of the drive for Bullock Creek. It will be their 2nd first down of the drive. 4:34 left to go. 4th quarter. The Lancers a touchdown and an extra point away from tying it, or would they consider going for 2 to try and take the lead? Swanson lined up wide to the far side of the field. Alex Evans not really shaded that way. It's single coverage out there. It's been good coverage from Hardepy, but there's just been some amazing catches. Suderman with the run again. 2 hands around the football. Plunges forward for extra yardage. Cluley in on the tackle. Sickles in on the tackle, but we'll see the spot. It will be first down yardage once again from Suderman with a no. They're not going to give it to him. We've got another player down on the field for Midland Bullock Creek as they continue to deal with cramps out there. It's still a pretty warm late September Friday night. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 for Midland Bullock Creek. 35-28 is the score with 3:58 left to go in the ball game. What a ball game it's been. The Blue Jays took control early, going up 7-0, but then it was a big play. Swanson with his first touchdown, well, his only touchdown catch, but he's looking to have another one here. Then after that, it was a long 8-minute, 44-second drive from the Blue Jays. Ty Burns with a short touchdown run. Midland Bullock Creek answered right back with a touchdown run of their own. This one from Mr. Edwards, the junior, Caden Edwards. Right after that, very first play for Shepherd with 7:41 left in the 2nd quarter. Eisenberger with a beautiful paper bag toss to Clevenger, and what I mean by that is Clevenger didn't need hands to catch that one. If he had a paper bag strapped around his chest, Eisenberger would have dropped it right in there. Then Bullock Creek went 3rd and 3 and out. The score was 21-14, 5:34 left in the 2nd quarter. Shepherd had a 14-play drive and a missed 39-yard field goal going into the half. They looked like they were going to march right down and score again, but some penalties near the end of the first half really backed them up. Start of the second half, Midland Bullock Creek is trailing 21-14. They come out with the onside kick. They end up having a big-time 3rd down pass breakup from Ty Burns for Shepherd. Ultimately a turnover on downs for Midland Bullock Creek for what essentially is the first drive of the second half because they recovered the onside kick. Shepherd then took over at their own 15-yard line. 2 minutes and 57 seconds later, whole lot of real estate covered, brought to you by Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Prating Realty, Robin Strissman and Associates. It was a long touchdown run from Ty Burns on a 2nd down and 27 play. At that point, it was 28-14. Shepherd looked in control, but then a nice drive from Midland Bullock Creek, and it was the quarterback kicked on the fake handoff, taking it in for the TD that made it 28-21. Then he had a big-time touchdown run from Easton Van Alstyne from the Shepherd Blue Jays on a 4.5-minute, 5-minute drive that made it 35-21 with 11:09 left to go in quarter number 4. Then Shepherd got another stop. Ty Burns gets into the backfield with a big sack. It's another turnover on downs for Bullock Creek. Shepherd gets it. 8:19 left to go at their own 35-yard line. They go 3 and out. Have to punt it to Bullock Creek with 6:47 left to go here in quarter number 4. It's one play, 40-yard touchdown toss from Kikta to Edwards. Then Shepherd got it back with 6:23 left to go at midfield. It was a fumble on the first play of the drive, giving it back to Bullock Creek. Down 35-28 with 6:09 left in the fourth quarter. They've ran 5 plays. They've picked up 2 first downs. They now have it 2nd down and 1 just outside the 10-yard line of Shepherd. 3:58 left to go in our ball game, and everything still on the line. Defensive line out there. It's Sickles. It's Deering. It's Gall and Payne. Here we go. Cluley also up near the line of scrimmage from his linebacker position. Shotgun look. 2 running backs in the backfield for Kikta. He's going to hand this one off to Suderman. He's going to be brought down on the play after a very, very short gain. Couple guys coming up out of that pile for Shepherd, along with Wes Cluley. That will be first down yardage, though. Lancers only needed a yard. They get it. That's their 3rd first down on this drive that started at their own 38 with 6:09 left to go. There's now 3:32 left to go. It's first down and 10 from the 11. So Bullock Creek could pick up a first down inside the 1. Swanson to the far side of the field, single coverage. 2 running backs in the backfield with Kikta. Send the tight end in motion. Hand off to Suderman all the way. Pours it up the middle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bullock Creek with 3:09 left to go in the game. Suderman with some hard running as he takes it in the end zone on the 7th play of the drive for Midland Bullock Creek. And now they've been very, very solid with their kicking game and Mr. Tyler Frankland. I don't expect them to go for 2 with the way he's been able to boot the ball here tonight. It does look like they're going for the extra point. But if you're Shepherd, if you somehow are able to block this extra point, oh boy, it put all the momentum back wearing the blue and gold. Franklin out there. Shepherd crowd making a little bit of noise here. Bullock Creek trying to tie the game. They block it. Shepherd blocks it. There's no flags. There's no flags. Shepherd stays up 35-34. We've got a late flag coming in. A little conversation out there with Ty Burns and Mr. Edwards. Going down on the ground for a minute was Mr. Bryce Smith, but he looks like he's able to put some weight on that leg. The extra point is blocked. Shepherd remains up 35-34. There's 3:09 left to go in the ball game. And I'm waiting to see if there's going to be flags, because if you're Bullock Creek, if there was a flag on you and it moved it up 15 yards, that would be a huge deal. But I don't see any flags on the field. I don't see the officials marking anything off. What a game we have had here this evening. So far, I'll call it the Zaid Batchelder Game of the Year, brought to you by Weefrich Financial and the crew. It's 35-34 Shepherd. We've already seen Bullock Creek attempt 2 onside kicks. Will they try something similar here with 3:09 left to go in our ball game? Hall of Fame night, a Hall of Fame type of game here between Midland Bullock Creek and Shepherd. And I mentioned it earlier, Ithaca, Beale City, Mount Pleasant, all winning big, moving to 5-0 on the year. Sacred Heart Academy, Clare, trailing, trying to come back and be victorious in those games. As I pull up things for East Jordan and Sacred Heart Academy, we'll update you on that in moments. But a big decision here if you're Bullock Creek. Do you kick it deep? Do you go for the onside? Really, really tough decision for Franklin and head coach Jerry Orr to make here. 34-12 now the score. East Jordan on top of Sacred Heart Academy. So it looks like the Red Devils are going to be able to knock off the Irish, and we'll pull Clare back up to see what we get. And then I will mark off yardage, but not against Bullock Creek. They're going to mark it off against Shepherd. And so if you're Bullock Creek, you're now in a really good spot to attempt that onside kick, as you're now kicking from, what would you consider it, Shepherd territory? They're kicking from the other side of the 45-yard line. And Ogama Heights is up on Clare 41-7. So all of our other games are essentially decided except for this one. There's 3:09 left to go in the fourth quarter. Everybody's crowded up about 10 yards away from where Franklin is going to kick this off. We've got a timeout coming from Shepherd. Rarely do you see the timeout coming during the kickoff, but this is one of the biggest plays of the game. And Franklin, we've seen him. It looks like he's somebody capable of kicking a 40, 50-yard field goal from what we've seen from the extra points. He's also had that really good onside kick game. He just kind of dribbles it right down the middle of the field, 10 yards, and waits till he can pick it up. Shepherd was not ready for it to open the second half. The last drive, they were ready for it, started with it at midfield, up 35-28. Problem was a fumble on the first play. Suderman took it in for the touchdown, but the blocked extra point, that is so far now our Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game, that blocked extra point for the Jays as it keeps them in front, 35-34, 3:09 left in the fourth quarter. It's Jacoby Polson. Shout out to my main man, Jason Polson. Charlie Robinson, it's Anderson Sickles, Wes Cluley, Jace Deering, all lined up there along the front line. Right behind them, it is Mr. Bryce Smith, Brady Robinson over on the far side of the field. Here we go, 3:09 left in the fourth quarter. It is a 1-point game. Bullock Creek lining up for the onside kick. I'm imagining just inside or just across the 50-yard line. Penalty, big-time advantage right now for Bullock Creek to go for this onside kick. Here it comes from Franklin. Going to boot it towards the far side. It's going to go out of bounds. It'll be first down for Shepherd. And so Shepherd will have it with their own 35, their own 40-yard line. Not a bad kick there from Franklin on the onside. Went to that far sideline. Ultimately goes out of bounds. So if you're Shepherd, Bullock Creek still has 2 timeouts remaining. You pick up 1 or 2 first downs, this game is over. And Easton Van Alstyne has been really good on the ground tonight. He did have that fumble earlier in the quarter, but he's the guy you're going to here on this drive. Also could see some Ty Burns as well. It's going to be a single back formation with a whole bunch of tight ends out there. We also could see Jace Deering drop back to that fullback position as they kind of reset things as they come out offensively. 3:08 left in the fourth quarter. The Shepherd Blue Jays trying to hang on by the hair of their chin to get this victory. Deering does go in motion. They hand it off to Van Alstyne. Running hard, 2 hands on the football. He's going to pick up 3 yards there. Clock is your friend if you're Shepherd. No timeout here from Bullock Creek. They're going to give him a 5-yard spot for Van Alstyne. Mason Eisenberger trots to the sideline. Get the play. Offense coordinator, Coach Robinson. Clock continues to move. If you're Shepherd, you want to run every second you can off the clock here. I formation look with Deering. Eisenberger into backfield. Here to the near side at tight end, it's King and Sickles. And waiting for the Black Cat to start counting things down. He does. Eisenberg goes under center. Handoff to Van Alstyne. Falls forward. It's going to be 3rd down and short, but Van Alstyne got what he could. Got on the ground to keep it moving. Actually, it's going to be 1st down yardage. They gave him a great spot out there and the benefit of the dive. And so now if you're Midland Bullock Creek, you got to start to churn those timeouts no matter what happens. It has to happen on this series of downs or it's all over. And if you're Shepherd, keep the ball on the ground here. Think about old Coach Krazier, high and tight footballs, that high and tight turnover battle. You cannot let another one slip out if you're Shepherd here. Eisenberg goes under center. Clock continues to move. 1:45 left to go. The Black Cat starts to count things down. We've got a very late timeout coming from Bullock Creek. I'm really surprised that they didn't take it right after the 1st down yarder was marked. You could have stopped the clock with like 2:05, 2:10 left on it, but Coach Jerry Orr, he must have saw something he really did not like out there. But now if you're Shepherd, there's only 1 timeout left for Bullock Creek. Big time moment here in this game. And again, all of our other games are settled. Ogama Heights up big on Clare. East Jordan up 35-12 on Sacred Heart. Ithaca moving to 5-0, blasting Hemlock. Beale City moving to 5-0, blasting Houghton Lake. Mount Pleasant moving to 5-0, blasting Bay City Central. Big congratulations, Coach Hesbrook, Coach Gross, Coach McIntyre, starting the season 5-0. Crazy to think we're already beyond the halfway point of the high school football regular season. Say 1:42 left to go, fourth quarter. 35-34. Shepherd looking to hang on for a victory here. Our Bird All-American Grill postgame show coming up after we wrap this one up. Noah Judge headed back out there from his center position. He has been unbelievable tonight, along with Chris Gall, Nick Terwilliger, Jared Myers, and Braddock Payne, opening up some holes so big you could drive a Clark modular home through it for Mr. Ty Burns and Easton Van Alstyne. I formation look with Deering and Van Alstyne. Eisenberger hands this one off here to the near side. Van Alstyne, again, two hands on the football. Shout out to Coach Krazier and High and Tight Footballs. It's going to be a big gain there for Van Alstyne. Now we do have that second timeout coming from Midland Bullock Creek. And looking at the time, thinking of the play, if you're Bullock Creek, I think you'd only get the ball back with like 1 or 2 seconds left here if that was the case and what was to happen. Again, Bird All-American Grill post-game show coming up after this one. Thanking some of our great sponsors. Malley Construction, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Gates Drilling and Service, halftime sponsor, Weefrich Financial, sponsor of the Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game, who I think it's going to have to be going to Mr. Mason Eisenberger on this one. Van Alstyne running hard, running great out there, but he did have that one possible costly fumble. I think Van Alstyne would even say to me, I got to hang on to that one there. But a couple touchdown tosses for Mr. Eisenberger. Done a really, really nice job running the show. Think about that Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. Chris Gall, Nick Terwilliger, Noah Judge, Jared Myers, Braddock Payne, Jace Deering. The offensive and defensive line have been legit. And that is where Midland Bullock Creek kind of really breads their butter, is up front with these big kids. Shepherd was able to match that tonight. Bullock Creek and Shepherd both with some big plays downfield. Shepherd with just a play or two more. There's the first down for Van Alstyne, and that will do it. We got a late flag coming in now. There's some good sportsmanship and some bad sportsmanship out there. The flag comes in, but also on the play, we see one of our Shepherd Blue Jay players, Mr. Gabe Veerhar, helping up player from Midland Bullock Creek. Again, that penalty will mark off more yardage for Shepherd, but all we're going to see now is a couple knees from Mr. Mason Eisenberger. Shepherd is going to win it 35-34. And now if you're Midland Bullock Creek, you're going to move to 3-2 on the year. And this one is going to hurt because you're going to feel like you had a chance in this one. And if you're Shepherd, you kind of almost let this one slip away in the end. You were by far the better team. Again, when you look at your first, 5-6 possessions, you score every time except for going into the half. You expect to win a little bit bigger than 35-34, but I think that is just what's going to be coming this year with Jack Pine 1 football. When you look at Bullock Creek, when you look at Gladwin, when you look at Clare, when you look at Shepherd, they are all going to be very, very evenly matched. And I said it in the pregame, Bullock Creek took overtime to beat Standish, and so maybe expected Shepherd to be a bit of a favorite here, but I think we just really saw Shepherd play a special game going up to Standish Sterling Central and kind of own that game plan. Clock continues to roll. We've got one more kneel down here from Mason Eisenberger before we head off to our Bird All-American Grill post-game show. We're going to talk again about the other scores around the area, our Timber of the game, our Zaid Batchelder Baller of the game, and all that stuff. 35-34, the Blue Jays are a winner. They move to 4-1 on the season and continue their best start since 2009. None of these kids out there have witnessed a start like they are putting together for the Shepherd Blue Jays. 35-34, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They're already high-fiving out on the field. The Blue Jays are 4-1 on the year after hanging on to win 35-34 over Midland Bullock Creek. We'll be back to put a bow on this one with our Bird All-American Grill post-game show right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. We have all seen this sticker, maybe in Mount Pleasant, Beale City, Ithaca, or Traverse City. There is a reason you see that sticker everywhere. That's because Dick Sova Auto Sales has been selling sharp used cars and trucks for 3 generations. Stop in to see the Sova family in downtown Shepherd for your next low-mileage, immaculate car and see why they're known for over 40 years of fantastic customer service. Or you can view their inventory now at DickSovaAutoSales.com. Dick Sova Auto Sales, selling sharp used cars and trucks and supporting sharp student-athletes. Powell Frame and Collision knows we all spend a lot of time looking out the windshield. So if yours gets cracked, dented, damaged, or destroyed, Powell Frame and Collision, along with their expert collision service, now offers expert auto glass replacement. Working with insurance, they can replace all makes and all models, including new advanced driver assistance system windshields. Mention you saw this ad and you can get $100 off of your windshield replacement. Powell Frame and Collision, downtown Shepherd. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical. Welcome back one more time into the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, now joined by Allison Curtis from the Bird All-American Grill, our post-game sponsor, and Zaid Batchelder, baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Brian Weefrich. Mr. Mason Eisenberg, he was pretty good tonight running the show, and it might have been Easton, but I'd even joke with Easton, that fumble, you might have kind of lost it there. But what a big night for you, Allison. One of the biggest crowds you've probably seen in a while here, wasn't it?
It was a big crowd, very big crowd. We had the Hall of Fame earlier. We had Shepherd Youth Football here also, so it was a big crowd.
Yep, and the reason why I wanted to pull you up, and I think I got to give credit to Ashley Deering and the crew for kind of pressuring you into coming up here, but you guys have been one of the big sponsors of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network since I started things, and why is it important for you, Lois, Ben, and the rest of you girls to support local high school sports?
I mean, local is where we're at. We're a local bar. We have to support our local athletes. The families support us. We have to support the families.
Yep, and I'll make the joke. The only place you'll ever find this guy post-game in is the Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant. The last thing I think I got to do, and you can help me out, the Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game. We talked about Webb Road Sawmill Timber game up front for Shepherd was great. That catch down the far sideline from Braden Swanson, number 2 for Bullock Creek, right down here on the sideline when he went up with one hand. Is that the best high school catch you've seen?
That was a big catch.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Have you seen a better one-hander going back in your time watching high school sports?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, and so
but I mean, I don't always pay that close of attention. So
well, you're here hanging out with your friends, having a good
Right.
time in supporting the kids. But yeah, I'm gonna actually give the Swanson the play of the game right there. Also, tip of the cap to the 69-yard toss from Eisenberger to Clevenger. But Allison, thanks so much for joining me here just a minute, and thank you so much. I always say when you think about supporting the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, support these people who are supporting me, like the Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant. Bird Burger, 10 out of 10 every time. Go there, tell them Spockman sent you for it. But Allison, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Chris.
Chris Spockman, sign off of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Till next week, we got more high school volleyball.